Whoa, we are live! Hello, this is Eugene. Oh, you know what? For the fucking sake of it, I haven't done the intro in such a fucking long time. Whoa, hello, this is not Radio Silence Podcast, but it's Eugene, your boy. I'm here, home after work, tired as fuck, ate too many kebabs today, surrounded by cats, and I am doing a political alignment test I haven't yet done because it's the one that gives you a disgusting looking flag. So I would like to say a couple words before we go in. I like to say I have been sort of neglecting the EML for quite some time. I have a new job. I work as a marketing manager for a language school. I have a completely different schedule now. It's very hectic. I'm trying to reschedule the whole thing. TK is fighting his own fights in his home front, as he said on his Twitter. He is out for the time being. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. But for the time being, it's just you and me, boys and girls. Who am I kidding? There are no girls listening to that. It's the boys' club. Basically, I have an episode of the show in backlog. Basically, it's ready. I just need to edit it. And I'm going to do it right after I finish with this stream. And it's going to release tomorrow. And on Saturday, I'm doing a podcast on my own. If somebody wants to do it with me, like if you want to do video, holla at me. Maybe I'll get Barbie on. I don't know. Because I love doing podcasts with him. But like, if somebody wants to do it, holla at me. I'll think about it. We can do it together. And why don't we start with this PolitiScales thing? I'd like to say what up to chat. I see you, Brown Boy Socials, Random Leftist, yo, yo, yo. Thoughts on Grigory Romanov? I have no idea who this guy is, and he shares a surname with the Tsar, so I dislike him already. So, let's jump right in. So, this is the PolitiScales online political test thingy. Bunch of fucking questions. I think it's 100 and I think it's something like 112 or something. It's crazy. So yeah, it's sort of inspired by 8 values. So random leftist, if you're planning, yeah, actually, it's a very cool thing. So random leftist, I'm planning on making all my classmates, the 8 values test. Actually, a good thing, because if you're spreading around politics, if you're talking politics with people, especially people who claim to be apolitical, it's so funny when you engage them in political sense, and all of a sudden they have ideology and they're themselves shocked about it. So why don't we jump right into PolitiScales? So welcome to PolitiScales Online Political Test. You'll be confronted with a series of affirmations, and for each of them you will have to click on the button which corresponds to the most to your opinion. Okay, it's rather broken in my okay. The questions assume that you are a citizen of a multi-party political system and a market economy. Okay, sure. Just like now. You can always avoid answering a question, but if you do not understand if you don't understand the meaning of one of them, try to invert its meaning for a better understanding of what it's implied. Okay. The test tries to represent the widest set of ideas as possible and contrast some phrases that can be shocking, notably concerning race and homosexuality. Okay, I'm not afraid of black people and gay people, so I think I can proceed. Let's start the test. Okay, oh my god, 117 questions. Oh my fucking god. Should we play some music? You know what? Let's play some music. Oh no, I really can't. Can I? No, I can't, because I'll have to recreate all of my sound system. I really can't. Do I? Fuck it. I'm not prepared. I had a very tough work day today. I'm really busy. Like when I'm at work, like 9, not even to 5, to 6, I work. Like, of course I have like 1 hour lunchtime, but I spend 9 hours at work. And it's work, 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 no lazy sitting around. So I am tired as fuck. But let's go on. Question number 1. Conditions. Oh, let me. What the fuck? It doesn't. Oh, I can't even like make it bigger. Fuck that. So conditions of life in jail should be greatly improved. I'm really sympathetic with like anarchists with the whole prison abolitionism. I find it really cool and interesting. So I will absolutely agree with this one. GMOs should be forbidden outside research and medical purposes. I disagree. GMOs are inherently safe and like they are feeding so many people, and I see no problem with them. Like zero problem with GMOs because they are really, really, really helpful to the society. So no, I absolutely disagree. Actually, a poet, a bet on you get an anarchist. I'm pretty sure I will, because when I chat to my anarchist buddies, I'm like, yeah, great. Like, yes, I want the same thing, but there will be a state. It's like, what? Yeah, but like not the usual state, but like, you know, work is state. When everyone is a state, hey, direct democracy. Banks should remain private. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Remember what Marx told us in his critique of the Goethe program. It's not only capitalism, it's the land ownership and private ownership of capital. Banks are so fucking evil. They are more evil than the fucking fucking capitalists themselves, because banks fuck over not only the workers but capitalists as well. It's a crazy fucking system. So I absolutely disagree. Yo, what up, Pingu? Yo, Pingu, want to get on the show? Want to chat with me in the show? Holler at me on Discord if you want to. National chauvinism during sports competition is not acceptable. Huh. Banter is great. Like, the only times when I feel that I belong to a particular nation is when I banter with people about like about sports or about stuff like this. Like it's fucking fuck. Oh, you want to all come on the show? Yo, okay, message. Oh, fuck it. Let's make it a party. I will be doing the test and I will just send you the link. Let me quickly send the links. Message me on who wants to get on the show. Message me on Discord in my private messages. I will send you the link. So yeah, national chauvinism. Pingu here is a left nationalist, and he would agree to even a bigger extent than I am that national identity is pretty dope, and it's a part of our, you know, part of everything. That, like, part of how we work, like not fuck, part of how we like adjust to the modern world. It's really fucking important. And so, in my opinion, national chauvinism during sport is the least you can do. Like, it's not really good, you know, when you're like, fucking Brits, fuck, you know. But I would rather disagree that it is not acceptable. I would allow some of it, like being violent towards other nationals because of their sport teams is fucked up. Like, don't do that, you know? But if you're doing just like, you know, banter, do banter. Yeah, it's great. Okay, people, I've sent you the links. Jump in. Let's do the next one. Nuclear fusion, well, when maintained, is a good source of energy. I would somewhat agree. I believe that we can move to a greener and safer ways of getting energy, but I don't think we should neglect nuclear. Like, nuclear is rather important. Yo, Poet, what up? You're live. Poet, I can't hear you. Turn on your mic. And mute the chat. No, not mute the chat, mute the stream, because...
Yeah, sorry.
Yo,
Hello.
yo, what up?
What up, B?
What up? Oh, how's it going, Poet?
Nice.
So, I'm doing the test now. You're live. There are 6 people watching at the moment.
Nice.
Nuclear fusion. So, nuclear energy. I would somewhat agree. I don't think we should over-rely on nuclear, but, like, nuclear is cool, I believe.
I disagree. Nuclear energy is the future.
Oh, the future, like...
For me,
the future.
yes, especially thorium reactors.
Oh, thorium reactor? What the fuck is that?
It's basically, it delivers more energy than uranium. There's much more of it.
Okay.
It's easier to sustain because it kind of needs a little bit of plutonium to get it going, and when it gets overheated, you can just remove the plutonium and it'll cool down. Uranium, on the other hand,
yes. Wait, I know that thing. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay.
The reason uranium still gets used is because you can weaponize it, but thorium is way better. But you know, uranium, if it gets overheated, there's little you can do to stop it. Like as you've seen with Chernobyl, for example.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Oh, Brown Boy, what up?
I'm all for
nuclear
energy.
Oh, why the fuck is my mic? My camera on?
Because it automatically turns on when you join Hangouts, and you have just like shown a bit of your face to the camera. I have seen you.
Sexy.
Sexy. You were doing a sexy look because it started lagging. Like when you did that.
Hopefully, no one screenshotted that though.
Well, they will go back and do this because you already it will be up on the YouTube channel, so everybody will screenshot you. But you have already revealed your face, haven't you? I've seen your face on the internet. You've posted your pictures.
Ah, well, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Nothing. Not really important. Chillax. So, my favorite question, up to date, number 6. We need to establish a monarchy to federate the people and preserve our sovereignty.
Okay. Okay, as someone that lives in a monarchy, right? I mean, I live in a constitutional monarchy, but me, as someone that would identify as a Republican, monarchies aren't that great. Like, if you want to, let's say, if you're arguing from the perspective, let's say, bourgeois democracy, you could say that the monarchy are a big hindrance towards, I guess, democracy, as you know. I doubt because having a hereditary head of state that that literally no one will be able to test with their power, that's not necessarily a great idea.
It's a terrible idea, dude. Like, fucking hell. Robespierre is like, what the fuck? We did the whole liberalism thing to abolish this shit, not to adopt it. Like, fucking hell, monarchy sucks. Like, the only monarchy I support is when the monarch is like, yo, it's like, what was it? Was this, Eastern, Eastern country, somewhere in East Asia, was it Siam, where they had a prince who was a communist?
I have no clue.
Yo, Pingu, you're live, what up? Pingu muted himself. Yes, Pingu.
Hello.
Yo.
We have Sweden on. Great. What up?
Tired from work.
Oh, same, dude. Best time to do some politics. So, the only good monarch is the abdicated one. Yes, exactly. I agree with Random Access.
And also, monarchies, I feel like they're a bit too feudalist-like in a way.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to have them around. Like, what the fuck? It's just funny. The only monarch I support is the communist monarch. That's why, Slavik, the OG co-host on the show, my good friend, is an unironic anarcho-syndicalist monarchist. He's for red monarchy. red anarchist monarchy. I think what is his like tag on the Discord server? Something like honorary communist emperor. So like this is the only monarchy I support. So absolutely disagree. Let's move on. Okay, maintaining strong economic growth should be an objective for the government. No, I don't agree with that necessarily. I don't believe that strong economic growth is the most important. Like, actually, an interesting fact. It's a very funny thing that I have seen like on BBC the other day. It's like they had a report about like happiness of people, and they have found that after like in Britain, they've tracked that the more money a person gets, happier he gets until he hits the mark of £10,000 a year, and after that happiness stagnates.
Right.
And so basically they found out that they used to assume that the richer the country, the happier the people. But then they found out that's not the case. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I have something to say about that. Like, I think Marx has already talked about that when he said that we are like looking for needs, and we are like doing the like earning money, spending money on our needs. But then the whole, commodity fetishism starts, and the whole, consumerism starts. And then we're just spending money because we can spend money, and it doesn't really bring anything to our lives. Like, and like, oh shit. And the guys on the BBC show were like, we must find an alternative. We must slow down. We must slow down economic growth, like, and do more. Like he said something like, do more leisure and think about other things. And I'm like, feel free to do this in a capitalist system. So basically, yeah, like the science, science, psychology, and statistics prove that people are like current ideology has far more influence on people's choices and the way we live our lives than rational choices of people, like individual people. Consumerism really rules over our society because we have to maintain economic growth or it all falls apart.
Right. But before, you carry on, may I ask why one of your tabs is Jason Henry's dead girlfriend?
No, don't mind that. Let's just move on. It's just some research I've been doing about killing his girlfriend in the 90s. Don't mind that.
Since when does he have a fucking girlfriend?
No, he doesn't.
He made sure he doesn't have one.
Yeah, he made sure he doesn't have one in the 90s.
Girlfriends, as we all know, is a first world
girlfriends are a spook.
Yes, and they have the first world fucking fascism.
You're also unwoke.
They're a capitalist invention to keep the proletariat quiet.
Yeah, exactly. Poet is woke.
Okay, let's move to the next question. I don't want to stick to those on those questions for too long. Oh, Pingu just fucking died just now. Rip Pingu. I think you will reconnect in a minute. So let's say I would rather disagree because I believe that maintaining economic growth is important so that we keep improving our lives, but that's not the priority. Priority is needs. Wage labor is a form of theft from the worker by companies. Yes.
I agree. Yes.
Absolutely. Order and authority should be respected in all circumstances.
I'd rather disagree.
I'd rather disagree because
every authority should be questioned, in my opinion.
Every authority should be questioned, and we should remember that the political power derives from the barrel of a gun. And so if the people want to have political power and they want to have influence, they must be on guard against any order or authority. So I would rather disagree.
As an edgy little shit, I'd like to be disrespectful to authority because, especially when my mum doesn't allow me.
Exactly.
I came after bed. Nah, joking.
No, it's actually an immortal science of Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, edgy little teenism.
Yes.
Edgy little dipshitism. Anti-mom gang.
Yeah, Wojnik and Spooks and shit are honorable.
Anti-mom gang, yeah, they're the leaders of anti-mom gang. Social. Yes.
What if your mom, but she gay?
Oh shit.
That's
shit. Woke.
Communism.
I love the level of wokeness we have in the chat today.
This is maximum woke. You can see me and Poet having the same. Anime allies from the same anime.
What, Doki Doki literature?
Yeah, that's my favorite anime.
Is it an anime? It's a game.
No, it's an anime. Ding dong.
It's not a game.
It's not a game. It's not a game.
I mean, if you watch the anime, you can see how much shit he goes through.
I haven't seen that, so I'm really unwoke on the whole anime thing.
Watch the anime.
Be the anime. So let's go to this one. So, social assistance deters people from working. What?
No. So I guess like things like welfare benefits, whatever.
Basically, free money.
Essential parts. Work is an essential way that we express ourselves. Like as humans, it's the only way we express ourselves as social humans, by work, by labor. Because we take something and we turn it into something else, be it a fucking piece of metal and turn it into a machine, or be it a thought, an idea, and making it into a poem. Right, Poet? You know what I'm talking about because you're a poet. Okay,
your whole family.
Okay.
The only reason I have this name is because of like 3 years ago I ripped it off of Arma 2, some DLC from Arma 2. People didn't stop calling me it, even though I tried to change it several times. So I just did. And now everybody's posting poet.
Okay, you should start writing poetry for the fucking sake of it. When it will be the top ideology when the ideology becomes you. You take the form and you become the form itself. You say fuck it and you become the thing that you identified as. Transform.
Rim and rum, I wanna bum.
Gang.
Gang.
Beautiful. We have creative people in the chat today. So, I completely disagree because if the system doesn't work, the system should change, not the people.
There's also the I don't know how you do it in other countries, but here with the if you get like welfare for being unemployed and looking for work, you have what do you call it? Like an administrative worker at a recruiting office that helps you look for work and like helps you motivate and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pingy, like, can I ask Pingy something before we carry on?
Oh sure.
So, as someone, right? So, during our like general elections here in Britain, Jeremy Corbyn, when he pointed to like an ideal economic system, he always pointed to the Nordic model system as well as the German one. And I need to know if the Nordic model system is actually that good.
Do you like neoliberalism?
We're being fucked in the arse by neoliberalism right now, so no.
Well, so are we. I mean,
it's like you may have neoliberalism or you may have nice neoliberalism, smiling neoliberalism. Choose.
Neoliberalism.
Smiling neoliberalism.
I mean, when you talk about when they talk about the Nordic model or the Swedish model, it's just class collaborationism with unions. That's it.
It's a class collaboration, but unions can exist.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
No, the class collaboration is enforced through the unions because the unions are directly like one of our biggest unions is connected to the Social Democratic Party.
Fucking hell, fuck that.
Or rather, is created. I'm sorry, is created by
terrible.
So, yeah.
Terrible, because like actually talking about unions and stuff like this, it reminds me of a great like fucking very, very spooky country that everyone on the left is afraid of and points to and says, ooh, so scary. The real fascism over here, Israel. And I like to mention a funny fact about it. When you talk to like people about the country, like, and you talk to like, especially people who partially are employed by the state, like state agents who are like helping Jewish people reunite with their families who are in Israel and whatnot, and they're like talking about, for example, a tour to Israel, and they're like, yeah, you could, this is the tour, like Birthright, for example. For shout out to all my Jewish listeners over here everywhere. Happy Purim Hag Sameach, people. Tomorrow is the Purim holiday. So, and they're like, and this person is like telling you about the country, and he's like, yeah, this is the timetable for our travels. It may change because of all the strikes all the time, because people are always on strikes somewhere in Israel. So, like, and you're like, wait a fucking second, what? And then you find out, then they have extremely strong left that is pro-Palestine, right? That is like doing strikes that are really, really fucking class woke. You're like, well, I didn't expect that from the fucking ethno-state. Like, it's an ethno-state, but they have extremely cool left and extremely good organized labor, because it's partially created on organized labor. Because many of the first Zionists were labor Zionists who were trying to do socialism. And so they've lost, unfortunately, to the nationalist right. But the labor legacy is still there. And so it's so cool and it's so inspiring to see such a country that has an oppressive right-wing government for such a long time to still maintain class consciousness and have vibrant left. Like, compared to Sweden, where there are also like, hey, we have the same situation with Sweden in Belarus here. Like, the unions are literal instruments of power by the bourgeois state to maintain,
right,
to maintain the control. It's fucked up.
Right.
This isn't what Sweden used to be about.
Palme, praise Palme.
What the fuck? It used to be about big mushrooms.
Yes, it used to be about big mushrooms and Palme.
Ooh.
I love Peter Sweden. I fucking adore him.
Pizza Sweden?
Yes, Peter Sweden. What is he like? Really, Peter Birmingham or something like that?
He's Peter Atomwaffen.
Atomwaffen? No! Those are the friendly, smiling Nazis. Go away. I don't want them. No, Nazi. Yeah, very good. Let's join forces.
Oh,
we will kill the bourgeoisie. Let's go. Anarchists, very good. No! Atomwaffen, go away.
From the belly of the beast, we stand with you, North Korea.
No! It's so funny that fucking, like, what's his face? Gilly. I always forget how to pronounce his name. Julie's part of Atomwaffen. I'm like, what the fuck? They are so funny and interesting. Like, the Nazis are so crazy. Like, the idealism in them is so funny.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But, like, Atomwaffen are the ones that make me smile. For people who don't know, Atomwaffen are the National Socialist organization, mostly German one. I think they are rather international, but they are the ones who want to destroy capitalism, and they see their main ally in radical left. And they
support the DPRK.
They support DPRK. They support anarchist black bloc, left unity. But they're also Nazis.
What
so
they want
they like some sort of weird stressorists then? Or
no, they're Hitlerists. They're like
Hitlerists.
Esoteric Hitlerists.
Wait, like
they're Heil Hitler ones.
What's the difference between
so regular Nazis? Okay.
What's the difference between like Strasserists and I guess like Hitlerist Nazis or whatever they'll be called?
Well,
please.
The Strasserists are sort of socialists, but like they're nationalists, but also socialist.
I would disagree.
I would disagree on that.
Whatever, I don't know. they're the fucking Nazbols or whatever. And then
No. The so-called left wing. The so-called left wing of the Nazi Party is, I would consider them something like state capitalist with guilds.
So they're third positionists.
They are rather third positionist, yeah, because they're like, it's so fucked up. The system is really stupid. Like, it would work, but it's too authoritarian and crazy and non-socialist. Like, basically what they're saying is that you have property, and all the property belongs to the state, and the state rents out the property to the capitalists, who they control, and basically the third of the profits of the businesses go to the workers, which is less on average than in capitalism. I must say, the other third goes to the capitalist, and the other third goes to the state. The problem with that is 2 points. First point is that the workers have there is no democracy. Workers have no control over what the fuck is going on. First, second, the state. So the second is, as I said, exploitation in this system is higher technically than in current capitalist system. And third point, the state Strauss is talking about is literal fucking like Protestant Prussian dudes. Or was it Catholic? He was a Catholic dude. He was Catholic. No. It was fucking Protestants. It's the Catholic nobility, which is in charge of the state. Not really socialist at all.
From my understanding, they don't have as much of a essentialist biological view of race and ethnicity and nationality either. But I think when Otto Strasser was talking about Jews, he saw them more as a nationality.
Yeah, I would agree. So let's run through some of those questions rather fast. If you want to stop at some point and discuss, feel free to stop me, because we have so many fucking questions to talk about, to go through. So the social roles of women and men can partly be explained by biological differences. Let's say absolutely disagree and move on. Okay. Patents should not exist. You know what? Intellectual property is theft, but I believe that intellectual labor must be respected. You know, and so
intellectual property is not a viable form of property, in my opinion.
Yeah, like patent is a literal instrument for maintaining intellectual property, which is fucked up, and I don't agree with. I think we should rework the system, but patents and the status quo is not the way forward. So I absolutely agree. Patents should not exist. The state should be abolished. We can skip this one. Absolutely agree.
Abortion. You're gonna get out, anarchist. That was the one question.
Even Marxists.
Even
Marxists would agree with me.
PolitiScale is retarded. That's why.
Every test is retarded.
It's still the best one out there.
Is it? Well, it's the biggest answer of questions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're also really good questions, in my opinion.
Which ones? Where?
These PolitiScale.
Yeah. I thought you said maybe there was another one. No. So abortion should be limited to specific cases. Absolutely disagree. Like abortion in the morning, abortion in the evening, abortion in the afternoon, abortion in the night.
Oh, I absolutely agree on this one.
Yeah,
we must fight against global,
especially for the white people.
We must abort all white kids. Yes.
No, I mean the global warming. Absolutely agree. Holy shit.
We must fight against global warming. Let's talk about abortions for a minute. Go to your local synagogue and find yourself a Jewish wife. Stop marrying white women. Shout out to all my white people. Get yourself a non-white wife. Hell yeah, destroy Europe. Move on. So, members of a nation or culture have some unchangeable characteristics that define them. No.
Ooh, this is an interesting one.
No, the key phrase is unchangeable.
Oh, I will disagree, because this asks of people from a nation, which is a sort of culture within a land and a collection of people, not like their ethnicity. And my take on this is that when you grow up in a culture and have been living there for 15, 20, 30 years, and then move on to another place and live there, there are going to be some small characteristics that you still carry with you from that culture, even though you try to assimilate as much as possible. That's just what I think. Like, because it's these things that you learn from childhood. These are things that easily get imprinted in you. That's why you see, like, I'm gonna go really dark here, but that's when you see like people who have been abused as children carrying it with them for almost all of their life. Even if they come to terms with it and all of that, it's still something they have with them.
No, I can see that, because the key unchangeable here is things that have already happened with you and that have a national or cultural aspect to it, which is literally everything that happens to you, right? in the context of your upbringing and education, it's all national and cultural. It is unchangeable, sort of. Like some of it, like I can see it, but in my opinion, like, you know, in many cases this does not necessarily define you as a person. You may have
I missed the last part. Fine. No.
Like, yeah, unchangeable characteristics that define them. You know, that's the problem, that it implies that nation and culture is something static and something solid that is like branded onto you.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I missed the last part. Sorry.
Yeah, same. To be honest, same. I haven't actually read, I didn't quite get the defined thing, but so let's answer this. Members of unchangeable. Does anyone want to weigh in on the subject before we move on?
I mean, it's kind of the same as the whole human nature argument.
Yeah. The material conditions shape the person, and the person shapes material conditions. And so, like, the material conditions, like the base creates the superstructure. And so, basically, yeah, I would agree with you.
But the superstructure can change itself without the base changing.
Yeah, it can. It can, but it does not solve the contradictions of the base.
No.
Yeah. So, members of a nation or culture have some inherent. I would say rather disagree, or define. I would say absolutely disagree. Fuck it.
If it's defined, then no, this is...
Nah, absolutely. It doesn't define you at all. Individuals who get out of prison should be accompanied in their reinsertion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It depends on the crime they've committed.
Almost all crime, like, you can actually take people who are in prison now and clearly separate them into two groups. Once there is part of the people who are in prison because capitalism, and the other part is the people who are in prison because they have problems that could be solved. You know, using care, health care, mental health, and stuff like this. In my opinion, like, this is why I really like anarchists with the whole prison abolitionism. If you look at it, you'll like literally think that fucking hell, prisons should not exist.
Yeah, punitive justice is really, it doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't.
It's shown time and time again, but nothing ever changes.
Yes, prisons create crime, not solve it.
I looked at the statistics of like going back into crime from prisoners in Sweden. And after 3 years, almost half came back to prison.
Yeah. I believe that in the socialist system, what we call prison would not exist. What would exist is... how do I call it?
I guess
basically this reinsertion. Reinsertion will be the prison. It will be education. It will be care. It will be all those things.
So
a prison system, if you could call it that, under socialism, would be more of like a rehabilitation therapy kind of thing, rather than what we call prison.
Yes, exactly. So, to answer this question, individuals who get accompanied in the should be absolutely agree. Borders should eventually be abolished.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck the borders. Belarusian Swedish alliance. Well, yeah, absolutely agree. Polish people, come over. We'll have some fun building socialism together. Technological progress must not change society too quickly. Fuck that. No, absolutely disagree. Technological progress all the way. Like, if society has to change, it will change.
Like, by change, what do you? I'm kind of confused on like the idea of change.
Well, in this case, they're saying that, we will keep reaching new technological advances. We will keep improving. We'll keep finding out new stuff, right? And it will come to the point. Oh, random leftist, what up? It will come.
Hi there.
It will come to a point when we will have to change with it.
I'm at the same time watching like your live stream on YouTube. Okay, just continue.
You can just turn off the live stream voice, or just turn it off completely. And can you make yourself a bit like quieter, because you're very loud?
Is it possible? I'm so used to Discord. Is it possible to look? Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, great. Discord, yes, but it's so fast and easy to just turn on a Hangouts and do Hangouts. Like, you know how much Sargon gets for his fucking Hangouts on Patreon? He just sits on Hangouts doing that, gets thousands of bucks. He got suspended? Oh, God is good.
He literally said the purge had begun.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that, like, basically Google's having a great purge. So, you didn't see that? I'll send you the image.
Okay. So, in my opinion, let's get back to the thingy. So, PolitiScale, technological progress will not change society too quickly. I completely disagree. If we reach new understanding of the society, of people, of science, society will change because it's natural for it to change. And so stopping it will be, it's literal reactionary politics to stop society from changing. Yeah.
Are you a believer of accelerationism?
I don't know. Am I? Yes. Yes, to acceleration. Accelerationism is a funny word. It's like, it literally didn't work. Like, we had literal Nazis come to power at one point. Like, how hard can you accelerate? Like, how... No, like, accelerationism is, like... When I see capitalism doing crazy shit, I'm just smiling and nodding and saying, haha, you will have a revolution on your hands soon. But I don't actively participate in making it worse, because it's rather dialectical. It will happen on its own. Capitalism reaches its crises naturally. No need to do anything with it.
I'm sorry, Eugene, but are you making a human nature argument here?
I'm making capitalist contradiction argument here.
Fucking capitalist.
But capitalism is made up of people, isn't it?
Oh,
get that.
Don't you mean like the social construct argument?
No, I'm doing what?
I mean, like, you said capitalism is fiction. Don't you mean like capitalism is a social construct?
I didn't say fiction. It's made out of people.
No, I mean like what Eugene said.
Made out of people. It's like...
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm making a Marxist argument that, like, capitalism doesn't need any help from us to collapse. It will happen on its own. So fuck that. And I like the fucking Jordan Peterson being
natural progression, pretty much.
Nah, collective, individual, man. Fucking hell.
You're just sad that Jordan B. Kermit the Frog Peterson stabbed on you. Being
have you seen
neo-Marxist, postmodern Marxist XD style?
Have you seen this picture that I think Batko posted on his Twitter? Let me pull that shit up real quick. It was so fucking funny. I will show it to the stream.
Is it with Kermit and the other one, and it says Peterson versus Zizek?
Yes. It was Jordan B. Peterson Zizek debate. It was Kermit the Frog in his suit talking to Grouch, which is the hobo Muppet. And it was so fucking funny. I think I retweeted it. I'm pulling it up right now on the stream. 1 second. Yes, I found it. Oh my fucking god, it's so funny. Check this shit out. Yes.
Real intellectuals.
This is so good. This is literally what I want this year to
This
be.
is class consciousness at its finest.
Yes.
I forgot to save that picture. It's so
Well,
good.
Christmas came early.
Yes, it's so good. Fucking hell. But the strategic debate. Oh my god. I love it. All right, let's get back on track. Oh, technological process, but no. I absolutely disagree. Changes society. A good citizen is a patriot.
Rather disagree.
Yeah,
Rather.
rather disagree. Yeah.
Yeah, because being patriotic is cool and all, but then it comes to like, yeah, we should support a capitalist state. Yeah, no. Oh, post leftist in the chat. Yo, what up, post left? Love y'all with all this anti and old civ things. It's weird as fuck, but I love reading it. So rather disagree. Homosexuals. No, I want to read it in the American 50s gay scare voice. Homosexuals should not be treated equally to heterosexuals with regards to marriage, filiation, adoption, or procreation.
There's the beautiful rolling R.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, strongly
Do we really
disagree.
need to...
Yeah? What? Yo, random leftist, what did you want to say? You cut out?
Never mind. I said, like, do we even need to read it? Come on, just disagree already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, should not be treated equally. Yeah, disagree. The purpose of the judiciary system should be to punish those who went against the law.
Didn't we already?
Obviously.
Well, I mean, it should be, but like under like a bourgeois system, that's not how it really works.
Wait. Didn't we already answer this with the prison stuff?
Well, the prison stuff was kind of separate. Now we're talking about like judiciary system.
Well,
I disagree. It shouldn't punish people. It should create a healthier society by pulling people who are acting against the society's interests and their own interests, fixing them up and getting them out, like improving lives of people who are committing crime. So, in my opinion, I absolutely disagree because of the word punish. You know, punishing doesn't solve it, in my opinion. So, keeping on the topic, this anti-authoritarian prison abolitionist thing, I absolutely disagree. Because I see what it's going with. It's going with, authority.
Incarceration is necessary to decline.
Absolutely agree.
Insurrection is necessary to deeply change. Insurrection? Oh, revolution, sure. Absolutely agree. Go for it. Reduction of waste should be done by reducing production.
Yes.
Actually, yes, because we are overproducing, aren't we? Yeah, I would somewhat agree because reduction of waste, not necessarily by reducing production as the first thing. Like we can do things now, right, to help the environment and decrease waste. That would do a lot more, do a lot more good rather than just reducing production. For example, plastic bags. If we start to decrease the amount of plastic we use in the products, that will tremendously help the marine environment, for example. So I believe in my priorities, this thing is second. So I would somewhat agree.
Oh, what the fuck? Become agrarian ultranationalist like I am.
Agrarian ultranationalism. Agrarian National Party. Agrarian socialism all the way.
Don't you mean agrarian ultranationalist insurrectionary army of Midland, Sweden?
Oh my god, this sounds amazing. It's literally just reactionary peasants.
Wait. What's the green anarchist it was a bunch of peasants during the Russian Civil War.
The Green Army?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were
link you the Wikipedia page?
No.
The Green Army...
Oh God, but that's the only source I heard of them.
The Green Army is pretty interesting because those were just petit bourgeois and landless peasants who were getting together and arming themselves because the shit was going down. They were like, you know what? We're better off without, like, on our own.
Weren't they like just a bunch of drunken peasants who hid in trees?
Yes, and killed a bunch of whites and reds at the same time.
Like real non-partisanism.
Yeah, it was the good centrism. Like, we will arm ourselves and actively participate in insurrection centrism, you know?
And kill both sides.
No, there wasn't both sides. Get off my land thing going on, you know? And there were there were reactionary elements in it, but it also had some anarchist elements with it. So it's rather, you know, agrarian in nature.
So it wasn't even a movement, it was just a set of movements.
Yeah, it was more a set of movements and like people organizing on their own.
But that means there were lefty factions and right-wing factions.
Sort of, yeah, because it was a giant mixture of both. So not really of interest to us, you know, from the standpoint of political theory.
Communist Nazi liberals coming down to my farm.
Exactly. Selfishness is the overriding drive in the human species, no matter the context.
Absolutely disagree.
Nope.
Wasn't Stirner talking about that shit and kind of proving that point?
It's just literally the human nature argument.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, I see what's going on here. Because wasn't Stirner saying something actually like smarter than that? He basically said that like there are people who are just blindly follow the like basically the what's it called? The soul, you know, they're trying to find this bigger thing and they follow it. And there are those who understand and they who always act in their own interest but try to aspire to a higher power but fail to find it because there is nothing to aspire to except for self, and they will constantly fail in trying to find this big like greater good and until they accept egoism.
I have no fucking clue.
You know what?
I'm gonna make a human nature argument.
All I know about Stirner is that when I eventually go visit Marx's grave up in North London, I'm gonna leave him a copy of the Ego and his own right next to his grave.
Wait, is Marx buried in North London? I didn't know that. I thought he was buried somewhere in Germany.
It was London.
In London.
London. Oh, this is great. I should go to London then.
Why do you think the Nazis didn't destroy it? Because they couldn't reach it.
Oh, sure. And where is Engels? Is Engels also in London or in Manchester?
Engels?
Yeah.
I have no clue. Let me look that up, actually.
Okay.
I remember hearing something about, like, I think, like, his body was taken back to Germany, but, like, they buried him somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like they buried him with the wrong tombstone, and that he's like buried somewhere else.
I'm gonna make a human nature argument for this question.
Okay. So, human nature. So
here we go. Okay. Go for it. Humans are social animals, which means that we live in a group, and social animals live in groups. Well, every social animal does that, but one of the core features of this is that they indirectly and directly help each other in order to sustain themselves and the group, because the group is their strength. But they have to remember that a group is always consisted of several individuals. Mm-hmm. So humans acting in selfishness would be acting in what we would call the altruism as well.
Actually, yeah, and it's a pretty cool thing. Like. Pessimistic misanthrope in the chat. Social animals, more like social gay. I love it.
Should we get pessimistic off it?
Yo, pessimistic, get in the fucking chat. Let's chillax. I'm sending you the fucking link.
Oh, he's gonna spaz out about the vegan questions, though.
Yes, let's go for it. I love it. Yo, I actually going to me and Lexnomic. I'm going to go to. The Food Not Bombs thing in Minsk because the dudes here are amazing and they're doing a bunch of good work. They literally say, "Hey, boys, we are a literal fucking anti-government, anti-capitalist thing that gives out food." They are so direct about it. I love it. And they constantly get arrested by the cops for giving out food and politely asked not to do it, which is hilarious. I've read an interview with them in the liberal press. Like, it's so funny. It's crazy. I mean, we're going to go with them, and they are vegan, 100% vegan, which is pretty cool. Right. I know a guy who knows about that shit and will respect it as pessimistic misanthrope, whether he's coming to the chat or not. So let's go for selfishness is the overriding drive. I don't believe selfishness, self-interest, and group interest occasionally, and very often, as you said, Pingu, is like gives you more than just selfishness.
Oh, like, there's also another aspect. Like, there's this idea that selfishness is about making everything for yourself in every kind of situation, which would mean that you stab them in the back all the time. However, it's not in your self-interest to stab people in the back all the time, because they're gonna distrust you and they're gonna turn like
exactly
pessimistic percent.
Pessimistic.
Oh yeah.
Vegan power. What up?
Hey, what's up?
Your mic is so fucking
give me a minute.
loud.
I gotta adjust the sound, but
yes, please,
hey guys,
make yourself quieter. So,
am I too loud?
Yeah, it's rather loud.
Your camera's on, I think.
Oh shit! Yeah, I got it covered up with tape. I got it covered up with tape to prevent the FBI from finding me. I'm in incognito mode, guys.
Yo, did you block them on Twitter?
Huh?
Did you block them on Twitter?
Oh yeah! Oh shit! Yeah, I should do that. I should block them on Twitter.
Yeah, I need to do that too.
Oh god!
The Soviet Union could have survived if it just used incognito mode.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots! What the fuck? Like, computer literacy 101, incognito mode.
Wait, doesn't like Estonia still like use? I don't know if they do, but like they still use like the Soviet like net thing off. What's the name? Like like the Soviets, they registered like a internet like
SU.
Yeah.
Like domain.
Yeah, internet domain.
Are you serious?
I think it's still used occasionally. Occasionally, like when you can find some websites that still use .su.
.su. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fuck up the whole
Let's
operation.
Go to, like, Google, for example, right? I'm going to Google, and it's a pretty cool way to find out. You type in site, like that, and then you type SU, and it gives you every single SU website, I guess. No, or something. Wait, is it like that? I think you can like see how many websites there are on .su. Fucking hell, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the Google master.
It's all in this weird Cyrillic language.
I was just gonna say they're like weird symbols. I think you need to reinstall the pack for letters.
Oh god, no.
Okay, fuck that. But you can check how many like .su websites exists. It's like a couple of hundred websites. I'm pretty sure most of them are like weird, like web 1.0 websites that some of them are partially maintained still to this day.
I see some that are RF, like Russian Federation, and some that are RU as in Russia. I don't like. I think that's what they are. I don't see an SU.
Okay, RU is in Latin, is the original classic one. Actually in Belarus it's BY, but lately, yes, it's like BY, like that, BY. It's the thing that you use, like Onliner, for example, is one of the biggest websites in Belarus. But like recently we have started using Cyrillic, and you can find websites that are like .bell. And it's there's a Wikipedia article about that. I think you can find it in English. Here it is, English. .bell, domain name Bell. Belarus. Yeah, basically.
I'm sorry for like fucking going on off about FBI and getting us all off track. I didn't.
We're extremely fucking off tracks. Fucking hell, let's get back on that shit. Selfishness is.
I'm sorry about that. I guess I'm the real COINTELPRO. Like.
It's okay. We're here to chill the fuck out and do the test in the meantime. Just like, and to talk about that. It's fun times. I haven't done a stream in such a fucking long time. I haven't talked to you people in such a long time and to the audience.
Yeah, like, what's the deal? Everyone's been dead.
Oh my God.
Oh, I've been doing work, dude, and I have a new job, and it's like destroyed my schedule, and I am so fucking busy, and I'm trying to get back on track now.
Same.
Yeah.
I actually found a job after 1.5 years. So.
This is really good, and congratulations, Pingu. I hope you're doing great. It's really cool. Yes,
yeah,
Pingu, applause to Pingu finding a job.
Pingu, you wage
yeah, wage cuckery.
Wage cuckery. Hey, I just had to ask, you guys don't hear like any bubbling in the background, do you?
No. It's great.
Okay, good. I've got an aquarium a foot away. I'm sorry about that.
You're the fish man.
I'm fucking mass blocking every single FBI account.
Oh
shit.
Everyone is doing the thing. Okay, we're on question 25 out of 117. I fucking regret getting how many people? 5 people on this fucking show.
This particular one, I'm gonna rather disagree.
I'm going with absolutely disagree because selfishness is such a they are implying completely wrong thing. Like Stern is saying, "No, you don't understand," in his grave when he's reading that. So I would go and absolutely disagree. Because like genuine altruism exists. Duh. We need to.
Yeah, but I see altruism as selfishness, but whatever.
maybe it could be rad like that, but like fuck it.
Hey guys, like maybe we should know the right way is always in the center, no matter what it is.
Neutral or hesitant.
See, fucking
it's like, should we kill the Jews or should we not? No, you should only kill half the Jews.
We should discuss this question. You know,
every single dictator in the 20th century was a leftist.
See,
oof.
See, here's what you do.
Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin. Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin.
If the positions are to fuck a cat or to not fuck a cat, you only jerk it off.
Yeah, you only jerk it off.
Oh, God.
Shout out to my cat Rosa for a sterilization coming this Saturday. I'm going to have some fucking sleep. Rosa, I'm really sorry, but we are hiring the best fucking doctor in town to sterilize the cat. I will keep you updated on the cat situation on the next podcast.
Hey, actually, this is like a big thing. Spaying and neutering your animals is a big thing you should do as a pet owner. It's not just like a good thing, it's a required thing. Unless you have spaying, neutering, sterilizing your pets.
So, from the animal liberation standpoint, sterilizing a pet is a good thing or a bad thing?
If it's a pet that's overpopulated, like cats and dogs, for instance, it's better to have them just live out their life in a very youthful. You know, they're always fed and everything, and then they pass away, rather than having them have a litter. Which also is something that can stress them out. But have their litter, and then they what do you do with all the cats? And those cats, like that, you're making lives. And
basically you are endangering more animals. And bringing more harm potentially. Yeah. Because for my cat personally, she's extremely stressed out. Like I don't know if people on Eastern Marshlands like my cats very much, but I love them, and they are constantly on the show, like jumping onto me when I'm recording, and people see them. So they are a huge part of email, and I will dedicate some time talking about my cats. So Rosa is having those moments when she just doesn't sleep the whole night and attempts to
women, am I right?
And attempts to breed with Carl, and they could have kittens, and I'm really hesitant for that because, first of all, as you said, we will bring more cats in. We will have no fucking idea what to do with them. It's potentially will harm them. It's terrible. Second of all, leaving them be, even like if I had a cat, which I wouldn't sterilize, like if I had one cat, there will be no risk of her getting pregnant. I tried to hold her in my hands when she had the moment, She is spasming. She is stressed the fuck out. She tries to sleep. She can't sleep. She dislikes that. She doesn't. I see that in how she acts. She doesn't want that. She wants to chill the fuck out, eat some food, play with me, like sleep, interact with Carl, chill the fuck out, and have a nice fucking time. You know, she doesn't want that shit, and I see that in her acting. You know, when she's like literally like spasming, like, you know, shaking when she's having this moment. You know, I don't know the technical term in English. I know only Russian terms when it's like. It's not menstruation. What's it called?
You can say period. Yeah.
Yeah, when she's on her period, like basically, it's not good for her. Not good for her at all. So
it's very stressful.
Guys, do you mind if I just intervene here for a second? Jason Unruh just recently appeared on like this fascist. I don't know if he is, but like some fascist right winger guy like podcast.
Jesus Christ!
What is it?
He's not bullshit. We've been predicting this forever.
No.
Finally went.
Please, rumors about Jason.
I love Jason Unruh. You all know that. I'm just joking. When I'm hating on Jason, I don't really agree with him, but I respect him as an individual, as a content creator, and as a leftist. Like,
he's probably done more activism than like most of us.
Yeah,
so all of us put together.
Yeah, he's great. I respect him.
He's gotten so many people into Marxism.
Yeah, the wrong form of Marxism.
Fellas.
Yes, Jason Unruh.
He's at least an introduction to many people.
Fellas.
He's at least an introduction.
Fellas.
Yeah.
He supports Turkey.
What?
No, that sucks. Like, I disagree with him. I respect him as a person. It doesn't mean that if I like him and respect him will mean that he will Turkey will win.
Pingu?
No, I understand. But
yeah, it's not that one. It's just something else.
Are we seriously reacting to his latest video?
No, we're not. I'm just looking at it.
Whoa!
A plane of my.
So
I think this free speech radio basically played his Black Panther movie video, which I haven't seen yet, and he basically
he hasn't done one. I swear.
Black Panther. I actually did see it 2 days ago.
What did he say?
Oh, I haven't seen his. I actually
saw I swear he didn't do one. Like, he did do a video on the movie, but it was like the reactions to it.
Yeah. That's what you said. Like,
actual analysis of the movie.
Sure. It's just that he posted this video about like Jason Unruh on Free Speech Radio 99.5 FM, and it says a plane of my Black Panther movie video. Basically, the person who's in charge of this Free Speech Radio, that's the first time I hear this shit, played him and talked about it. I'm going to check it, dudes. We must get on with the PolitiScale because I want to see that. The new ContraPoints is fucking out. I must be now there watching this shit. She's talking about the Nazis again. So, fucking hell. Let's get on with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, will we ever do a collab with ContraPoints?
I really want to.
Zero Books did a collab with them.
I want to have collabs with other people.
You did a collab.
Everyone did a collab. What the fuck? Sargon of Akkad did a collab with her. Like,
oh yeah, don't remind me.
I really want to do that.
Right. Before we continue, I need to correct a point you made here. Okay. It's actually Carlos Swindon.
Carlos Swindon, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting the name of his town.
Carl Swindon, the
great dictator of YouTube and the warrior of the culture wars.
Yeah.
The warlord.
Gosh.
Let's continue with the...
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to quickly say, if somebody wants to have me or TK on your shows or want to appear on EML in one way or another, please, yes, let's do this. I haven't been on anyone's show in such a fucking long time. I want to talk to people. I want to have fucking fun conversations with people. So let's make it happen.
I can upload everything you uploaded on my channel because it's all shit posts anyway.
You want to upload my shit on your shit? Why?
It's called
I appeal on them?
Yeah, it's called mirroring.
No, it's all shit.
Can we just get to this test?
That's all I do.
Okay, feel free to do whatever you want with my content, Inge. Let's get on with the test. We need to make compromises with the opposition to apply our ideas. No,
Nah.
Like, you know what? Technically,
well, depends on circumstances.
I don't want
to. We just need to liberate their heads from their necks. I'm sorry, but
like only tactical alliances sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's what I agree.
What if it's like in the third world and we're surrounded by like right-wing nations?
Like I believe
you go full Posadist. No, I'm kidding. That's probably a good idea. If you're
in my opinion, tactical alliances work. They work and they are good. Good example is Hungarian Revolution 1919. Like, literal SOCDEMs were like, you know what? Those communist guys are kind of okay. Let's make socialism. And they went to fucking Balakan and said, yo, let's do socialism now. And he said, okay. And they literally abolished private property after writing a letter.
Okay, like, but you have to also understand how dangerous these can be. Like my girl, Rosa Luxemburg.
Killed by Nazis. But
killed by Bernie Sanders and his gang.
And Jeremy Corbyn, don't forget.
Bernie Sanders and Jeremy Corbyn personally threw her off the bridge into the canal.
Yeah, exactly. So, not fun, not cool. Like, if they want to be in charge, fuck them. There is one condition on which we work. Like, I believe that having an alliance on the anti-fascist basis, great. Having an alliance on day-to-day, like, saving lives basis, amazing. Like,
what about the anti-colonial alliance?
Anti-colonial alliance depends. Like, what do you mean by that? If there is a political party,
like the ones in Africa.
Britain, if there is like a political party, like let's say for example there is a political party in Germany that says, you know what, we must stop funding IMF. We must stop. We must demolish. We're Eurosceptics. We want to demolish the European Union. Want to demolish, like, deglobalize, I would technically support them.
So
deglobalization
and become neutral like Austria.
Excuse me?
Like make Germany a neutral country like Austria.
Yeah, not Austria, like Switzerland, but Switzerland participates in global capital, so
yeah, I've got another idea. Instead
of there really any independent nation
like Austria, why don't we make the next Austria-Hungary? Okay, good idea, right?
No, you're
like
trying to summon
it's not allowed to join NATO.
Do you know if you mention Austria-Hungary a couple of times, like Goulash guy randomly?
Yeah, that's
Goulash guy said, no!
Bring back Austria-Hungary. Bring back Prussia. Let's reset the whole thing. Okay? Reset it all.
and have
1917 happen in 2018. Okay?
Okay, let's get through a couple of questions really fast. So we need to make compromises with the opposition to apply our ideas.
Absolutely disagree.
I would rather disagree because I've mentioned. Wait, make compromises. We need. Oh fucking hell!
I think this question.
Somewhat agree.
The statement is not about tactical alliances. It's about general alliances.
Oh, okay. So like neutral to disagree.
Yeah, this one since I know how the test looks like.
I think I'm gonna actually go with neutral.
This is a question.
Yeah,
this is a question between
actually neutral.
This is a question.
Yeah,
it's a question between revolution and reform.
Oh, it's revolution and reform. That's a great way
So all sciences, even chemistry and biology, are not absolute and are subject to being shaped by our society. Yes, because unfortunately, postmodernism intensifies. Even hard sciences are shaped by they are constructed, and nothing is set in stone. And treating like science as fact and not way of learning. Not way of learning, you know, Lysenko, very, very chemistry, very much biology. Like treating science as a fact is wrong. Science must be treated as a way of understanding and learning, nothing else. So I would absolutely agree with that. Prisons should no longer exist. Finally, absolutely.
We should have gulags alone.
Another prison one, woohoo!
Transgender.
Every house of gulag.
Yes, every house has a gulag. Individual gulags for everyone. Transgender individuals will never really be the gender they would like to be.
Oh, fuck's sake! Absolutely
Disagree.
Go away! Foreigners enrich our culture. Yeah, they are. They do.
Agree.
I think they enrich certain countries.
Shut up.
Like mine.
Neutral or hesitant. Neutral or hesitant.
Do your own PolitiScale test. Don't tell me what to answer. Just
answer. This is socialism, Gulan. Gulan. I was about to fucking.
Oh, this question is an absolutely disagree.
Oh, wait a second. I want to make a point. If you have something to say, like an interesting fact on observation, feel free. Don't tell me what to.
Like in certain countries, like England, like I really think that a nationalistic.
When collectives uphold individual suffers. It is important that health should stay a public matter.
Oh,
yeah.
Like what in terms of free healthcare?
Well, we need healthy big titty goth GFs.
Exactly. And they must be healthy. Research produced by my country should not be available to other countries. Absolutely disagree. Excuse me, I think my cats are trying to breed again. I'm not sure.
You swat them up?
I just don't allow them. I don't scare them, but I remove cat from the cat, and they stop for a bit.
Fun fact about cats: I believe that they have I'm sorry, this is a biology thing. Fun fact about cats: mating wise, cats actually have spines on their genitalia.
Yeah,
the males.
They do.
Genitalia. And some people actually have either a mutation or an anachronism, which in case they've got spines on their genitalia that have no suitable purpose but are still there. In humans.
Dick bones!
Well, most animals have dicks in their bones. Bones in their dicks.
No, not dick bones.
Shut up.
Just spines.
I'm tired. It's late. But
they're
there's bones in dicks of animals. It's natural.
Okay, it looks like cat wants, the male cat Carl wants to, either fight Rosa or to breed with her, but she rejects him and goes away.
She rejects him.
She fucking goes rejected. So I'm going to keep it close.
Guys never win.
That's just your narrative. Cats do not have spines.
Eugene, it just shows that Luxembourgism and Marxism aren't compatible. Your cats
they're not compatible.
Your cats even agree.
Yeah.
I thought we agreed that. What's one of them? One of them's a Bordigist more than anything else.
Yes, he's a Bordigist. He is a Bordigist. He's just the fat catism. Just sitting around being fat and lazy. He's doing that a lot. He's a real Bordiger. I love him. I got him on my hands just to chill him out a bit. So elections organized by the state cannot question the power in place.
Yeah,
they can't. Bourgeois. Of course.
Bourgeois elections.
Yeah. Bourgeois elections, because in this case we're implying we live in a bourgeois democracy, as it said in the beginning of a test. So I saying cannot, absolutely agree. It cannot question powers in place. The maximum allowed hours in the legal work week should be increased. Absolutely disagree. It should be decreased.
It should be multiplied by 0.
Yes. Abolish work.
Right. You know that ship in
the it should be multiplied by 0.5.
That
will be less.
So,
basic math, mate.
We should always distance ourselves from protesters who use violence.
Oh, that's the way to
go. Just make this one quick.
Guys,
let's make it go away. What should I wait? Absolutely disagree, right?
Yeah.
Guys, come on. We've got the Antifa are just as bad as the Nazis.
Radical centrist gang horseshoe theory.
Okay. Oh shit, here we go. Sexual assault are particles by men's natural impulse.
Oh, delete this.
No. Because
just click disagree. Just go.
Okay, go on. My country
Don't
must
say
pay
anything that can be put in a sound clip.
Yes, my country must pay for the damages caused by the crimes it committed in other countries.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Germany did it.
Before you guys say
exploitation of fossil fuels.
Yes.
Sorry.
So exploitation of fossil fuels is necessary.
No.
I'm rather neutral on that because, in my opinion, there are places where you really need that, but I'm not really, fossil fuels.
What the fuck?
Wait, won't we?
I think that
nuclear
if you live in a
energy, electric cars, fucking
but that's fossil fuels.
Yeah,
I understand what he's saying. He's saying if you're in Africa,
it's better than the fucking coal we're burning.
If you steal, there's kids that steal coal just to heat their house, and that's what they use it for. I get that, but I mean overall, it's a no.
Become agrarian ultranationalist.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I will choose? I would rather disagree.
Yeah.
Because I see that, any
labor market and slave workers.
would...
Yes, agree.
Okay, wait.
With this one, agree.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
Yes.
It is necessary to implement assemblies to ration out our products to the consumers according to their needs. Assemblies? What the fuck is that? Ration?
We can say that that's anything. That could be the government to syndicates.
Assemblies to ration sound fucked up. But okay. Let's just, for the sake of it, because it
says to each according to their needs.
Yes, it says according to the needs. I would yes, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Euthanasia should be authorized.
Yes, we should.
Yes.
All the
Wait, does it mean legal and allowed in this case?
Yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, it is not acceptable that human actions. It is not acceptable that human actions should lead to the extinction of species.
It's unacceptable.
Anyone who disagrees with this one, you go to Gulag immediately.
Okay, loans. I can absolutely agree. We must preserve our natural habitat. Loans contracted in the public sphere, state, religion, collectives should not necessarily be refunded.
I didn't quite understand this question, so.
Does it involve debt?
Wait, loans contracted in the public sphere, state, religion, regions, collectives.
I'm an economics brain.
Collectivities.
You know what? I'm rather neutral on that because, in my opinion, in some cases, you want, as a state, you want to invest in something that's refunded, but at the same time, if we talk about things that can't be really, really refunded, for example, state art projects, entertainment. That's not government may spend money on stuff that they just don't get the money back. I think it's great.
Yeah, roads,
roads do give you money back because you're invested in the infrastructure.
But you don't
stuff
get
arts,
you don't get a revenue stream.
A bunch of it's in your. Yeah. I don't believe that all the loans in the public sphere must lead to new revenue streams. So I still believe that it shouldn't be wasteful. If you support euthanasia, you are not a socialist. It was one of the core characters of Nazi policy. What? Dude, if you want to kill yourself just because you suffer, die. That's it. Forced euthanasia, when you euthanize dysfunctional people, is different of me dying of terminal cancer and deciding to die peacefully in my bed surrounded by my relatives without pain. There is a huge difference between that. So I would disagree with you, dude, on this one. Yeah, euthanasia is completely great and should be allowed because death must be a choice for people. You must it's their fucking lives.
Yeah, if life itself isn't a choice, so at least death can be.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's more control over your own life, which I over your existence. I believe it's good. Loans so should not necessarily be refunded. Should not necessarily is rather nah. So I absolutely agree. We should invest in things, like we should invest in people. People are not our money bags. So, the right to be anonymous on the internet should be guaranteed. Absolutely agree.
Well, the thing is, the internet was not designed to be a... I agree with it, but
my God.
I just want to say the internet was not designed as a neutral thing. Like, we'd have to restructure it completely to have something that would be, like...
Yeah, sure, but I believe that if you want to be anonymous, be anonymous. Like,
yeah, of course. I'm just saying it's a hard thing to shoot for.
Okay, my voice is coming back. One is not born, but rather becomes a woman. Oh, wait. It's the other way around. I'm sorry. I thought it's a reactionary phrase. I absolutely agree. You become a woman. Woman is not, like...
It's not a static.
Genitalia. It's... Yes, it's not a static.
You try to avoid saying social construct.
No, I just want social construct. It's just too abstract to use. I want to, like... have a more detailed approach to that.
Say spook like the rest of us. Come on.
Like, gender is not okay. Fuck it. Absolutely.
It's a fucking spook.
I do not have any problem if other official languages are added or replace the already existing official language in my country. In my country,
Wait. Isn't
Belarusian language is pretty much dead.
What's the word?
Dead?
Yeah.
Cats, stop breeding. No. Thank you. Yes, Rosa, I'll keep you safe from this crazy, crazy man. He's a rapist.
I just want to state... like, this seems like it's going to be, like, one of those, like a right-wing question, but, like, this is literally a reason that the IRA started.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you know what I mean? Reasons, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I think that just the postulation of the question is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, because it's going to say.
I personally disagree with this. I agree with the first part because minority languages and such, good thing to recognize. The last part, absolutely no.
Yeah, it's like if you can't just remove a national language. Like, what the fuck? It's a huge part of national identity.
50-50.
I don't want to go neutral because it's rather crazy if
absolutely disagree. Do it.
I have no problem. I absolutely disagree. I agree. It's like it's such a not heritage, but it's such a fucked up idea. Just like take such an important part of identity of a people and just rip it out. And just forget about it. It's just
It's not only just an identity; it's an actual glue for people.
Yeah,
connect.
It really, like
that's the first thing.
Jesus, my Connolly's, to think about that.
That's like one of the first things immigrants should learn when they come to another country. Learn the language because that's the fastest way to get in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, language is really important. And it's the way I just agree. I have nothing else to add. It is necessary to massively invest in research to improve productivity. I absolutely agree. Like, if you want to have more productivity, you have better things to produce with.
That's like an objective statement. I don't get it.
No, you don't understand. If you want to have higher productivity, you must abolish the labor laws and have children in the salt mines.
So, if we improve this machine to work faster, then the production will increase, and some fucking brainlet comes on with this. No, actually, it would decrease because science.
Hey, this is probably a right-wing question too, though. Like,
I'd like to answer to more magnets than that. Well, removing disease is one thing, but killing people because of their mere genetics is what the Nazis did with Action Terfia. Yes, but what we are implying here, eugenics?
Is that what he's referring to?
No, we were talking about. Euthanasia is a choice.
Yeah,
but he wrote earlier that he confused euthanasia with eugenics, and now he's
eugenics is fucked up, dude. I'm sorry, I missed that in the chat. fuck eugenics. I completely agree with that. It's crazy, and I'm sorry if you thought for a second that we are literally here sitting supporting eugenics.
Well, why do we have soft eugenics though? Like, I mean, if like
what happened?
No, okay, you shouldn't call it eugenics in the first place.
Okay, but seriously, listen, like in the Swedish countries, in the Norwegian countries, they have a soft eugenics where like.
Excuse me, I'll be back in a quick.
Okay, yeah, you go and stop your cats.
Keep going.
But they have like they abort the little Down syndrome babies, which I am totally for. Soft eugenics all the way.
Yeah, yes, I think that's good too. But also Swedish countries, Norwegian countries.
I'm sorry, fucking Christ. Is my American showing?
You just say Scandinavia.
Ah, fuck! I was trying to find the name of it. Yeah, yes. Swedish Norway countries.
Germanic.
You know the ones that have blonde hair, blue eyes, and like have have the golden one accent.
But I have brown hair and brown eyes.
Because you're fucking Spanish.
No, I'm a mutt.
Oh shit. The golden one would not approve.
Yo, I'm back. My cats spooked themselves really hard because they went to the bathroom and dropped like a bottle of like shampoo, and it fell into a bath really, really loudly.
Do you condition your hair, Eugene?
Excuse me?
Do you condition your hair?
No, I don't. I just use it.
Oh, you should. Shampoo. It's especially your beard. Amazing.
Oh, I actually have the I think I should condition my beard because I've tried it a couple of times. It's pretty nice on the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll be doing that. Thank you. Okay, coming back from hair advice to question 48. Is it legitimate for a country to intervene militarily to defend its economic interests? No, go fuck yourself. Economic interests, my ass. It's literally called imperialism, dude. Fuck off.
Imperialists.
Brahma Socialist is out. I don't know where he's still in the chat, but his laptop crashed and he's still for some reason in a call. But you are an honorary chat member now. So hormonal differences can explain some differences in individual characteristics between women and men.
Yes, absolutely, you can.
Wait. Explain some differences in individual characteristics.
Yes.
Maybe? Because
they're talking about individual as in a person, as themselves. Like, they're talking about personality, not physical.
I think yes, because in many ways there are some things in our genetics that shapes that used to shape us as animals, right? And now we adopted it and made a social version of it, right? And there is like a socialized version of breeding, which is sex and sexuality, right? And there is a socialized and socialized version of consuming food, which is a kebab I'm holding in my hand at the moment.
Hell yeah!
It's a cold kebab, but it's pretty cool.
Oh, a kebab.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry it has chicken in it. I'm sorry,
Eugene,
pessimistic.
Eugene, I'm gonna send you some fucking links after this, buddy. You're gonna get. This is where your meat comes from. Reality. You're a monster.
I mean, I still eat it because I'm a fat piece of shit.
We already had a whole fucking discussion on this topic.
I'm sorry about that.
No. I'm actually promoting the show you were on. If you want to go back and the pessimistic rant on why, if you are a socialist, you must be a vegan or you're a literal Nazi, you can refer to Red Veganism on Eastern Marshland's YouTube channel and everywhere else.
Hell yeah.
So, hormonal differences, I would say somewhat agree.
Yeah.
Because I'm not big on hormones. But, yeah. Market economy is optimal when it's not regulated.
That's definitely yes, guys.
The values of my country are superior to those of other countries. The social differences between ethnic groups cannot be explained by biology. Yeah, absolutely agree. Social differences between ethnic groups. You're black.
Well, I mean, there's one group in Mexico where they don't have wisdom teeth. So aside from that, like, yeah,
See, let me pose another question about this. Which biology are they referring to? Which ecosystem are they referring to?
I'm sorry, my cats are trying to breathe now. Yeah. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, yeah, Pingu, Eugene, you do what you... I get what you say by that, because, like, in Africa...
I'm just trying to be a smart ass, of course.
Yeah, I get you, but... No, I get you, but it's a good point.
Yeah,
because, hey, brown boy, because in Africa, like, because they have a lack of tuberous root vegetables and high carbohydrate foods, it's harder for them to build a society in certain places which have this lack of, and the lack of being able to domesticate animals. Like the zebra, you can't really domesticate it compared to the modern horse or cow. There's a fucking video you can watch on why you cannot domesticate zebras. It talks about all this. Like, it's literally material conditions.
Yeah, hello, I'm back.
Hey, brown boy. Can you slap your belly on the camera to show it's you? You remember that, brown boy?
What, the Jazz International?
No, when you slapped your belly and sucked
video. Oh, man, I wish...
God, that would have ruined you. There were so much terrible things on that, man.
I know.
Okay, let's go for absolutely disagree because they're talking about black people being stupid because they're black.
Yeah.
Revolutions will always end up in a bad way. Absolutely disagree. Fuck off! Okay, some sectors or type
of liberal.
Some sectors or type of employment should be financially supported. What?
Shouldn't all of them be financially supported?
What the fuck are they talking about?
I think they're saying by foreign.
I think no. Oh, okay. So they mean like science departments and stuff like that.
Oh, of course.
Excuse me. My internet was lagging. What did they mean again?
They mean like science departments are not R&D, research and development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree then.
Yeah.
A language is defined by its users, not by scholars. Absolutely agree.
Fuck scholars.
Like, people are speaking the language. Language is a thing that people use.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
You want to know the answer on this one? I'll give you a hint. Red veganism.
Yes.
EML. Watch it.
Yes. Agree on this.
Oh my god.
Even though I eat animals, but
vegan kill gang.
Animals.
Absolutely agree. Holy shit.
I'm going somewhat agree.
Hey, you bet. Hey, a little up, buddy. A little fucking up.
Like,
I'm booking my plane ticket now.
Go for it. You literally have a 10-day non-visa period like stay if you want to come.
I'll beat the shit out of you every day with fucking broccoli sticks.
I will house you and I will feed you vegan food. Come.
Really?
Come.
I'll fucking push Rosa off of Carl.
What?
I thought Rosa was topping Carl. I'm sorry.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, that's like my dog. My dog would just literally hump the bigger one.
Same. Carl is a male. He's male, and Rosa is female, obviously. And Rosa is bigger than Carl, and at first it was adorable when he was trying to like get on top of her, but then it became scary. That we're going to have kittens soon.
Oh, this is a
yes,
real IWW statement.
Oh yeah, like I was watching you guys heard of the Guillotine podcast?
I've heard of them. Yes, I haven't. Okay. I haven't listened to them, but I want to check them out.
Okay, he's really, really emotional about it, and it's really cool. But they talk about this one character that they had at their work who was a union president or a leader, like old union, like back, like he's like they called him grandpa. And what he'd do is like, the manager pissed him off, so he's like, says in the guidebooks, the manager left and he says, it says in the guidebooks that if any of the knives are broken, chipped, or rusted, you should get rid of them. So he breaks the end off of every knife and throws it away. It was fucking, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely sabotage. Differences of treatment and quality of life in our society show that racism is still omnipresent. Absolutely agree. Transhumanism will be beneficial because it will allow us to improve our capacities.
Yes.
Yeah, whether it's through biology or through technology.
Bioengineering transhumanism is the best kind of transhumanism.
Yeah, it is. Anything else is brainlet tier. You're basically wanting to turn into a toaster.
Yeah, cybernetics
is the only chance that I can be immortal, and my death angst and death denial cannot exist without maintaining this belief that I can still become immortal using I don't know anything.
Well, Eugene, if I may, and this is actually the field that I'm going into, genetic engineering.
Okay.
Like there's this guy you should. I'm sorry, I'm fucking plugging all these people, but there's this guy you should watch. Here, I got it on fucking Insta. I'll be he actually genetically engineered a bacteria to go into his a virus to go into his body and make it so he no longer has lactose intolerance. Though I disagree with the reason.
This is insane and cool.
The premise makes it so then he is now if you were to take Hydra or and a naked mole rat's DNA, you could have a higher chance. You'd be able to, maybe some other ones. Those are two that I know about. One to promote genetic stability, and one to that basically removing risk of cancer. The mole rat and the Hydra to for telomerase. You could increase your chance of survival and youth substantially. And this can be done in your back in the I've set up a small lab where I did some cloning. Nothing big. I sterilized it too much and killed it. But I did do some successful
you murderer.
Sterile it wasn't a human. It was a plant. It's not even that big of a deal, but sterile procedure and just overall you can get lab equipment easily. Broken lab equipment. So transhumanism, if you go to a citizen science space, you're easily gonna be able to fucking do that. But I do recommend if you're gonna do anything like that, save your sperm first, so then you don't fuck up your DNA. That's just, but yeah.
This is fucking insane. I love it.
Citizen science labs, they're dank.
Bioengineering good. Bioengineering good. Cybernetics good.
Cybernetics
is cool. Yeah, it's good sometimes, but I prefer bioengineering.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay. We talked about that. Let's move on. It is better to arrest someone potentially dangerous preventively rather than taking the risk of having them committing a crime.
Who decides that they're potentially dangerous and to who?
Yeah, it's and what are you going to do with them? Put him in prison for not committing a crime?
Well, why don't we just put them in a place where they can do a little bit of labor for us? How about that?
Hey!
In a snowy place with mountains?
Snowy mountains. Colorado. Let's put them in Colorado. The Siberia of Canada.
Siberia of America, Colorado.
Yeah. Put them in
dedicated fucking... dedicated state of Colorado. We'll call it dedicated state of Colorado from now on.
Okay, here's what we do with all these people that are potentially dangerous. You put them in a shelter, and then when you have gathered 20 of them, you put them in a battle royale situation.
Oh my god!
That sounds like Thunderdome shit.
The Thunderdome!
Welcome to the Thunderdome. Who rules Thunderdome or whatever?
What the fuck is happening here?
It's a Mad Max.
Quoting Mad Max.
Yeah. Who runs Thunderdome?
Is our new judicial system is literally Thunderdome. This is what socialism is. It's Thunderdome.
No, socialism is when Jason Unruh decides who gets the most for the hair gel.
Socialism is when Jason Unruh gets his Mohawk line.
And then he has a lot of dog.
Anyways, can we continue with the questions? Because I have to go in
No, socialism is when Rosa and Mark successfully allowed to fuck without Eugene.
Go in like an hour from now. So can we speed up the questions?
Sure, let's go for it.
Oh no, poet.
It's better to arrest somebody. Absolutely disagree. The sacrifice of some civil liberties is necessary in order to protect from terrorist attacks. Go away, Nazi. Preserving non-urban ecosystems is more important than creating jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely agree. Hacking has a legitimate place in the political struggle.
Yes.
Absolutely agree. Yes, hack the but
it can't be like it has to be 10%.
What about
hello?
If you killing bourgeoisie, what about I already have pessimistic business. I've already made like a Photoshop of me on HackerMan.
Oh, I didn't do that. I don't think I did that. No, it wasn't me.
Oh, it was.
You. I'm an MS
Paint. That was you're MS Paint guy. You don't do Photoshop. I think it was actually Dom.
No, I stick with the professional stuff.
He made a HackerMan of me, and that was the we must hack the bourgeoisie. Hey,
I can fucking finish. Can I
quiz? No, I haven't. We're talking like stuff. Eat rich digitally. Yes.
If you can share my screen, or let me share my screen. This is what it was.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can show your screen, can you?
You see it? You see it?
No. Oh, the link.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Okay, justice should always take into consideration the context and the past of the condemned and adapt the penalty accordingly. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
It is important to encourage an agriculture that maintains food biodiversity.
Yes.
Even if the output is inferior. Absolutely agree. Yeah. Because it's better for.
Oh, there might be an agriculture. Yeah. There might be one hiding in you.
Yes. Okay. Hey, here it is. Here it is.
Hey, I'm not sharing my screen anymore, am I? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Am I sharing my screen anymore?
No, you're not.
Okay, good.
Activism is inexistent.
You can open your Pornhub again.
What?
Yeah, I can open my
you
again,
sure.
Thanks.
Feel free to do that. Act in political organization is not relevant to change society. You know what? That's somewhat agree. Well, I'm not going to absolutely agree because I believe maintaining activism in the current existing political organization is important. But I'm for the revolution, so.
The SOC Dems aren't doing much right now. The DSA, they're doing shit, but they're not doing revolutionary act.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm going to say, "Hey, stop that," you know?
Yeah.
This one is an absolute.
Speed it up.
Okay, nobody is by nature predisposed to criminality. Absolutely agree.
Well, there are certain
absolutely
people
agree.
Like brain tumors.
I'm too tired.
Yeah, but that's you're not predisposed.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about black people again. Come on.
Oh shit.
Fellas, I think Poet is trying to say something.
What?
Poet?
Huh?
Poet's trying to say to speed it up because he wants to get on with it. Because he's something, right? Poet?
Yeah, Eugene, your connection is dying for me.
Hello? Can you hear me, people?
I can hear you, but sometimes you just turn into a robot and your fucking screen share goes.
I hope it won't happen again. I'm just trying to fix it.
Right.
So it is acceptable that some industry sectors are private.
Right. On this, there's like this meme.
Nope.
About like this. There's like this meme Twitter account called like revolving around Jeremy Corbyn, and it's like nationalize everything, and like every day they tweet out our word, like it's like nationalized and some word.
It's a dictionary bot, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so private industries. The only industry in socialism that I would maintain not private but for profit in a market would be entertainment, because I still am to see how I still haven't realized how do we do arts in a per needs basis. I have no fucking clue. But for the sake of this specific question in PolitiScales, I'm going absolutely disagree. It's not acceptable that some industry sectors are private.
Well, I mean, in the USA, what we used to do for things that were like in the 1700s, I think the 1800s, to late 1800s. Well, what the US would do for like something of a what was that word you used? Entertainment.
Yes.
We'd have public hangings and public executions. And that was one of the things, like legitimately, that is one of the things that was done. So, and I know that's not going to be done now, but like, I mean, fireworks displays are an example of something that could be definitely public.
Well, I'm not really into neither of those things.
No, I'm not saying like those. But yeah,
I know the private sector can do that. I know, and I know that there are like private sector institutions that do arts and entertainment.
Yeah, I'm saying a public sector would probably be the best thing, though. Like, you can still have it, like, because like, why would it matter? Why would it matter how much of this entertainment is by need if it's like like unless it's like prostitutes, like that's the only one, like unless the people get tired out by doing it too much, like doing whatever their act is or whatever. I don't think that
my problem here, let me explain. My problem here for a film industry or for a music industry, it would be really hard, even in like, for example, our ideal, like let's say like Delionist heaven, syndicalist heaven, would be really hard, like industrial collective, democratic union to legitimize itself in the eyes of other productive unions. And allocation of resources will
Are we talking about communism or syndicalist socialism is my question.
In communism, I don't think we're talking about higher stage of communism. We're talking about like syndicalist socialism or just socialism in general.
Well, I mean, labor vouchers, labor vouchers would be a way, like.
But how do you determine the amount of labor? Like not even, well, maybe.
Like, again, like, how much did it take for the production to take place?
I can see it. I can see it. But what about, like, my problem here is not necessarily the price, not necessarily the labor value, but rather allocation of resources. You see?
Yeah, I can get that.
And like, how do you determine where do you put the resources? How do you decide it? Democratically? Like, should we vote who gets to put out a new album? Kanye West a fucking Weekend? Like,
well, I mean, these people would be given, like, there would be communal places with like studios, of course, but like, I mean, but like there would also be like
But you see the problem. You see the problem I'm getting into. Like there would be problems in terms of distribution and how do you determine good or bad art?
Yeah, that's always been a problem. Like
that's why I see like market. I'm sorry for something like that, but market, not private ownership.
I think it's a problem socialism could solve. Like, at least, or alleviate.
So, maybe full communism.
Yeah, full communism indefinitely. Socialism probably. Or maybe.
I can see it.
I mean, late-stage socialism after a couple decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we look at
not decades, probably just a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not go full Stalin. We're not achieving communism overnight. Like.
Yes. No, you don't understand. 1980, we're like, that's it. Full communism in 1980.
Oh, your old brainlets become things.
That was Khrushchev's thing?
Yes. Yes. Full communism. Abolish money, 1980. Liberal reforms. Hey!
What if we have...
My view is... My view is that, like, the world must be united under a one-world socialist government. Oh. And then after 100 years of, like, a completely socialist Earth, we can reach full communism.
No!
Okay, nationalists, sit down. Let's keep talking about the political skills. Age of retirement. The age of retirement should be lowered.
To 0.
Yeah.
Does that mean, like, lowered means the younger, like, so that younger people can get retired?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I am equally concerned about the inhabitants of my country and those of the other countries. Absolutely agree. I'm a woke internationalist boy.
I'm not.
Yeah, what about those? I don't care about those damn Canadians.
No, I
fuck them.
I just don't care about Russians.
The fucking leaf
international struggle. No one
Fucking
should get rich from owning a business, housing, or land.
Yes. I agree.
Okay. Foreigners living in my country should be allowed to act politically equally to those who have the nationality. Absolutely agree.
Absolutely.
A mass strike is a good way to acquire your rights.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
I've heard a good, or a good thing about a mass strike.
A syndicalist gang.
It's a small group that consciously and secretly controls the world.
No.
Absolutely disagree. Is it the Alex Jones scale? Or something like that? Like, how woke and red pilled are you? It's red pill, blue pill scale. Transforming ecosystems durably to increase the quality of life of human beings is legitimate. I am someone to agree with that. Yeah, we need to increase. I am going somewhat.
You don't need
transport structures.
Like you don't. It can be done. Shit, guys, can you hear my voice? I think.
Yes, but you're rather loud. You're rather low. But yeah, keep going. What did you want to say about that?
Like, I mean, I've talked about a little bit before, but like Pingu, you do bushcraft. And,
yeah.
Yeah, and like I talked about like like sustainable housing for like in my area, for example, like would be sod houses. Well, sod and underground houses. And you don't have to change the ecosystem so much. You really don't have to change it, like, mostly at all anymore, because the technology has advanced so far. And it has, in some places, hell, we've had this since the 1900s. But, like, you don't have to, unless you're in Antarctica, the ecosystem's probably fine for you.
Well, I can see that. I believe that if I had a choice, like, between building like a city block that will like really change the ecosystem, right? And to build a block that would even like get like will be more expensive to build as a project, just like a bit more expensive, but will maintain the ecosystem, I would choose the later one. I believe that, like, we should, like, Belarus has been already wrecked by Soviet Union's policies in terms of ecology. Because, like, they came to our fucking southern Belarus and started to completely fucking destroy our swamplands. To make land good for, irrigation. And they have destroyed so many swamps. And now we have to suffer because of that. We have abnormal, climate conditions. Like we have really cold winters that are freezing, and we have really hot summers because of the heat is not really, the fucking ecosystem is fucked up because there are no swamps now.
But was it sphagnum swamps? What was it like? Or were they bogs? Or I'm sorry.
Those were just general swamp lands around the river Pripyat in the southern Belarus.
Going back to the original statement, I guess agriculture, doesn't matter which kind, it could be like permaculture, is a way of altering nature. So,
yeah. This kebab is crazy good. Oh my god. Okay, let's get back to the test.
I think we have an asshole in the chat.
Shit, really?
Yeah, the Sankara guy.
Fucking Christ, is some... Okay,
Or he's just a 15-year-old or something.
I don't know, Thomas Sankara. If you respect Thomas Sankara, that's alright with me. I respect him too. I don't know if you're a Nazbol. Nazbol gang. Bring back Nazbol Station Europe, please.
I respect Sankara, so, but also...
Make Nazbols.
Also, he was a union buster, so I don't like that.
Was Sankara?
Sankara busted unions, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems like
really think about it, he is kind of one of the... Like, still, he greatly improved the living standards of his country.
Wait, but nobody's arguing against that, but did you really bust unions?
Yeah, like, he outlawed unions that weren't, like...
You mean independent unions?
Unions that weren't directly connected to the state and the party, as far as I understand it.
I mean... look where they started out with. They were, like, literally a former French colony.
Yeah, they can get one.
Okay, you know how easily the CIA,
No. Hey, let me finish.
Solidarity in Poland. Okay.
Let me finish.
You know how easily the CIA can get into that.
Let me finish. All right. I said I respect him and I think he was a good person. I think it was good for the country. But this one aspect, I don't like it, and that's it. That's all it.
Also, okay, yeah, no one's perfect. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone makes mistakes.
A good thing.
I'm a big union boy.
Yeah, it's like, when you're doing socialism, and yes, you may do it good, but
are you doing Marsh?
Yeah.
Look.
I realized that it's a complete...
Okay, one moment, I'll be right back.
Okay, now that Daddy's gone, let us talk about why Nazbol is the only way to...
Now that Daddy's gone, we can finally take out the cookie jar and take 3 cookies and not 1.
3 cookies! Socialism! This is the way!
Distribute cookies.
Cookies for all. Fucking Christ.
Guys.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Charlie Kirk quote where it's like, no one goes to socialist countries to start up a business. No one goes to France to start a business. They come to America.
Gee, I wonder why. Fucking Christ. And no, they don't. Like, gee, I wonder why. As in CIA psyops.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yes. What's up, Eugene?
Yes.
Don't tell about
Don't tell about what?
Shh. Go on.
I just wanted to say that anti-cat sex gang reporting in.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've just stopped another case of sex.
Gang.
Can we just label this episode Eugene doing a PolitiScale test and keeping his cats from having sweet nuts?
Yes. Yes.
Let's
go back and name it something like that.
Let's continue.
Okay, energy and transport structures should be a public matter. Absolutely correct. Police should be armed. Police abolish different system like community control over the community. You know what? I'm going to go and say absolutely disagree.
Yeah.
No, fuck it.
Bless
you. I have a complex opinion on this?
Oh, Pest, look at this. Look at this. Ooh, this is right in your forte.
Excuse me?
I was talking to Pessimistic Misanthrope.
What's up? What did you say? I zoned out.
Look at the question.
What's the question? Wait.
Oh, hell yeah. We need to do this.
We should accept changes in our way of consuming food to limit the exploitation of nature. I believe that we can maintain the same amount of like consumption and quality and harm nature less. Like,
yeah, but I also
it's
not far enough. Like, I mean, I talked to a lot of people and they've been like, I'm like, it's healthier for you. It tastes the exact same. We've got the chemical way. It tastes the exact same. It's healthier for you. And it lowers you and like it lowers the price in your wallet. They'll say, but I like meat though. There's some people you can't just do that. You've got to literally go up to them and like drag them out into the street and beat them if they don't do what you want. This is just like, I'm sorry, but that's not.
You're really spreading a class consciousness there, aren't you?
There's two classes now. There's the human class and the oppressed animal class, nigga.
Look, as a wise man once said, Trotsky, if you can't convince a meat eater, acquaint his head to the pavement.
To be honest, yeah.
Oh my god, the vegan invasion of email commence.
I'm just saying there's some people who agree, but they won't do it unless you make them.
Let's stop this for now because it's fun, but we come to a very fun little question. Sexual orientation is a social construct. Isn't the like scientific consensus on this at the moment is that nobody really fucking knows? Yeah. Because it's a bunch of stuff.
Click neutral.
Yeah, neutral.
Like absolutely disagree or agree
about like sexual orientation being like a population control stuff.
Oh, fucking hell, terrible. Yes, it's weird. Okay, in some specific conditions, the death penalty is justified. No.
Rather disagree.
Is not death by revolution.
I love the death penalty.
Death penalty for
rather disagree.
Sucks. I'm going to disagree.
Okay, if two countries have similar economic,
what are you going to do with the bourgeoisie, the fascists, etc.?
Death by revolution is not death penalty.
Well, I just want to line someone up against the wall.
You can do that. Penalty. Just don't do it to people or to people with mental health issues.
Okay, Eugene,
you know what?
Something.
I a call right now. I'll be back in a quick second, okay?
Yeah.
Looky.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, okay, I'm going to convince you that the death penalty is right, guys. Everyone here. Have you guys seen Batman Rises? Where,
Dark Knight Rises?
Where, yeah, Batman Rises, where there's a part where the Scarecrow is in the court, and he goes...
It's not, what? Batman Rises?
Or death by exile. It's not the death.
No, that's Batman Begins.
Yeah, Begins.
Wait.
If you're talking about the Christopher Nolan trilogies, that's Batman Begins.
No, Scarecrow was in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, he was a judge.
Yeah, he's the judge.
Scarecrow was in the beginning of Dark Knight Rises, but he got fucking he got killed by those wannabe Batmans.
Oh man, now we're talking about movies.
No, he didn't get killed. He's in the base.
Yeah, he was alive during like Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, but
I'm back. We're talking about Dark Knight Rises. What the fuck?
I'm trying to say exile, death by exile is the proper way to deal with it.
Wait, I remember now. It's the like People's Trials thing.
Yeah, the People's Trials. I love it.
Oh, like in Malice, China?
No, like in the fucking movie. What the fuck are you talking about, Malice, China? I mean,
that's what they did, though.
Gotham wasn't.
Like, you're bringing up a fictional place, a fictional film. I'm actually going through a real life example.
You guys are like, oh, it's like a synthesis of the Batman and Malice, China. No, it's like Batman.
I'm still bringing up the actual real place while you're bringing up the fictional movie.
I almost choked on my fucking kebab. What the fuck?
Kebab.
What?
How much time you got left?
All these fucking books you're reading.
Half an hour.
But I ain't gonna lie.
Almost through the questions.
What if I watched
They almost through. The thing I'd like to point out, I'm sorry I break you up. We haven't had the evening with comrades for quite some time, but the level of real practice hours on this one compares to the fucking Australian stream pretty closely.
Oh, Eugene, I can never get on evening with comrades. I don't know why.
It's always at night.
It's always at fucking 11 or something, like in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't have a link.
Oh, fucking hell! I am going. Fuck! I'll tell.
I mean,
TK.
I want to join that, but
fucking send me a link. Yeah,
okay, if you want to go on, please address your applications to TK Jones because it is his thing that he does.
Yeah,
I will write a formal letter.
I'm not related to his Discord or Twitter or whatnot, and because I'm not really involved with that, especially now when I am literally at work at the time.
Yeah.
So I really can't do anything with that. It's TK's thing from the beginning. It's his thing now. Like, it's his idea and he's in charge. So address it to him, and we always need guests. It's always fun to have different people. So message him. It's basically that, but in 1 hour. For people listening, check it out. It's pretty funny. If two countries have similar economies, social systems, and environmental norms, then the free market between them has no negative impact.
Delete.
Delete. A good policy is a pragmatic policy without ideology. No! Ideology is important. You can't be non-ideological because you're not ideological on your own. Your policy can't be non-ideological. People who claim to be non-ideological are closet Nazis.
They're more like closet radical centrists.
What is radical centrism? It's the gateway to fucking alt-right and the Nazis. So absolutely,
I would make I would make a Marxist superstructure argument here, and the thing that Zizek likes to talk about, that ideology is you're not aware of it, even if you're living it and breathing it. Because us in the Western world, or at least I don't know how Belarus is, but well, we live in liberal democracies, and therefore the base ideology for people is usually liberalism.
Yeah, here it's weird about that. Like, we're worried about that thing. We are rather, I think we're rather liberal in our base assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Especially young people. We are really base liberal.
So it's like, even if you ask someone, oh, what's your politics? And they say, oh, I don't care. And then you're like, what about human rights? Then they start caring. That's politics. So
Exactly.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Sure.
Actually, I've got to
exactly. Oh, you have to do what? Pessimistic?
I gotta go take out the trash. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, this is how EML came to be, the apolitical thing. Lex Navi called me, and he's like, we're talking, and I was getting into radical left thing, and we had an argument, and he was claiming that he was apolitical. I'm like, no, you're not. Do you have an opinion on this? It's like, yes. Well, it's a political opinion. Hello, you have a political stance now. You are not apolitical. Yeah. And then it went downhill from there. Now we actually work in the same fucking language school, which is fucking weird. He works there as a teacher. And there are literally 2 communists working there. This is getting dangerously red hot up in there, you know?
I knew the Russians were up to something.
We are up to something. We will fucking collectivize foreign languages.
Whoa.
Minimal levels of salary should be ensured to make sure that a worker can live off her or his work. Oh, I'm going absolutely agree, but I believe that owning 100% of what you produce, blah blah blah, Marxism, communism, fucking Stalinism, you know the drill. My religion must be spread as wildly as possible. I absolutely disagree.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Spooks, criminals. Dismissals of employees should be forbidden except if it is justified.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, like dismissal of
employees. Rights are important.
Yeah. I think we should go the German Democratic Republic way, where you literally can't fire anyone. And people just ignored work and got the like minimum wage because they were employed, and they maintain 100% employment. Well, there are people who were not working, but they were not like getting premium money, like extra money, and they were just like sitting at home unemployed. And it was, I think, 0.1 or 0.01% of population who are able to work, who just ignored work and they couldn't be fired. Which is adorable and funny, and we should do that.
This statement is objectively wrong.
Heavy penalties are efficient because they are dissuasive.
What the fuck is that?
Dissuasive. It's like, yeah, please, Pingo.
It deters you from like doing the thing because you get heavily punished.
No, because you didn't get educated. You just got some punishment.
No, you don't expect to get caught. That's the thing.
Yes, you don't expect to get caught.
And it has also been proven to not work because you have like fucking. I think they tried it in America where they like. Oh yeah, some states. In some states you don't have death penalty. But the crime rates are still like as high as it was before they removed death penalty.
Because they use punitive justice, which is retarded.
Yes, it just proves that death penalty and heavy punishments doesn't do anything but kill people and spend resources
and ruin their lives. Yeah, don't forget about that part. It's fucking insane. So the filling and storage of personal records should be delimited strictly, and database cross-checking should be forbidden.
I didn't quite understand this question.
Basically, it's about getting personal information, giving government more personal info, and if you're in one database to compare, if you're in others' databases, to get a better like data portrait of you using metadata. So I'm going. You know what?
I'd rather disagree.
What does it mean delimited? Does it mean
somewhat agree? Fuck. I keep answering the wrong fucking.
Fuck. I'm going neutral because I really misunderstand the question, and it says that you should do hesitant. Like absolutely not. This means of population control. I can see it. That's why I'm really meh on it, but I am confused by the wording, language. English is really not my best language, so it's not my first language.
Academic advanced English is so fucking confusing.
Yeah, but it's fun. I love it. It sounds funny and looks funny. The fact, hello, Arthur. I'm not saying your name. You doxed yourself to me. Now I will be saying your real fucking name every time until you change your fucking name on YouTube. The fact that some schools and universities are private is not a problem. Absolutely disagree. Fuck off. Wait, anti-breed gang. Don't fuck, please. Thank you. I'm sorry. For people in the chat, I'm just stopping my cats from having sex. My cat is getting sterilized on Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you read the question, somebody?
Yeah,
changes in an individual's way of life can induce changes in society.
Yeah.
Disagree.
Wait. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
I very much
an individual.
This is like, be the change you want to see in the world, XD style. Vote with your wallet, buy ethically XD.
You know, after this, I'm gonna like retake the test because I understand some of the questions better now, and I think I
become agrarian ultranationalist like I am.
Excuse me, agrarian ultranationalist gang.
What's
going on? Wait, changes.
Why not just lock one of your cats in a room, like away from the other?
Well, because the other room is the kitchen, and I'm not sure whether it's rather safe for them to stay there all alone, and the cats will fucking panic. If they see that one of them is not there, they start, when they are like accidentally locked out from one another, they start crying for each other and attempt to rescue each other. They literally try to open doors and like stand there meowing at the door and communicating.
Oh, my cats just don't give a shit because they sleep.
My cats care for each other a lot. They care for each other. They love each other. They're really good friends. Like, they want to fuck, but I'm pretty sure they don't want it from like friendship standpoint, because they're really friendly to each other. They like each other in many ways, not necessarily like driven by hormones ways. Okay, fuck it.
I want to address something very fast. Which someone wrote in the comments. They said individual terrorists can induce changes in society, for example. Well, while this is true, but it also only happens on rare occasions. This is not a quote-unquote way of life in the common way of it means in English. A way of life is just your way of life. It's how you eat, shit, drink, not who you bomb and not.
Yeah, like individual terrorists can, I agree, it's not a rule, and if it doesn't have necessary ideological backing, it's senseless and useless. And in many ways, like, usually individual terrorism is undialectical. Like, it's literally, I'm angry, I'm going to blow shit up, right? And I'm going to kill a person that I dislike. But on the other hand, shout out to my boy Mason, read Siege. Am I right, LMFAO? Up top?
Yeah, join Atom Buffin.
Yeah.
Don't read Siege. Like, don't. Like,
no, actually do read it. It's a good piece.
No, there's a whole. Holy shit! Like
no, listen. You skipped the chapter about National Socialism. But
I get what you're trying to say, but I'm saying the nobility of the deed, in making more people do that. I mean, I get, yeah.
No,
there's nothing.
Let me finish. Let me finish my point.
Okay, one by one, please. Pessimistic. Okay. Finish the thought. What do you want to say? Pessimistic.
There's nothing but Siege supplements that you can't get from the handbooks of the IRA and the Black Panthers, of the movements in which they vetted and had their, like, instead of wanting to die, you should want to be a tool of the future. Like, I mean, like,
God, drink some water.
Have you read Siege?
Okay. Bingo, please respond.
I've literally had members of Atomwaffen tell me about it, so I don't know what's more I could do. Like,
see, I've read the first chapter, and it's like a good thing, no matter who you are, to read about, because not only does it give you insight in what kind of neo-Nazis we're talking about, but it also gives you sort of an extra information on how you could act in certain situations, because there's not one size fits all. And while I agree that you should like look at IRA stuff as well, like, it's not only that exclusionary, as well as I'm not saying you should only read Siege exclusionary. That's it.
Okay, for people who don't know what Siege is a book wrote by Mr. Mason, American Nazi, basically the main idea of a book is that we are under occupation by liberals and liberal bourgeoisie, and the only way for the Nazi movement, to keep going is for individuals to commit acts of like martyrdom and acts of terror to kill as many people as they can, to join groups if they want, and to wreak as much chaos as they can. It's basically Nazi accelerationism.
I do have to ask, though, how long has that book been out?
Not long.
I don't think long. 90s? No? I think of something like that.
Let me look it up.
It's an interesting read. When you read it, you like it. It was one of the. I've read some of it. I've read parts of it. It's pretty, weird because you read about the Jews and like how they control everything, and they refer to the bourgeoisie as the pigs.
Okay, so
my point is,
Siege is not a book per se; it's more of a collection of articles.
Yeah,
but my point is, how long has that been out?
Not long.
Okay, it's been out since then. From what I know, it's been out since the 1990s. For at least 28 years. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Okay. So and I've even had people from the Atomwaffen tell me about it, and the amount of like actual work that has been done in America and other places is not it's literally, I had an Atomwaffen guy tell me about how one of the guys he knew killed his mom and dad because they were Jewish.
Oh my fucking god! And then he killed himself because he's Jewish?
Yeah, I something like that. It was something about murdering your parents and then dying or getting arrested. My point is that these small acts of terrorism are not what a revolution makes, and for how long it's been out, which you say not long, but I say 30 years. Basically, the average person's lifespan is 70, so like almost half of someone's life. So like my point is that I get reading it just to recognize an enemy. I get that.
We should use it too, but also Pessimist Atomwaffen has existed for like 5 years.
5 years, because you said 1990 earlier.
But
Siege is 1990.
Yeah, Siege is from there, but Atomwaffen has existed since 2013, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Is Atomwaffen big? That's another question, because the chat asks, are they LARPers or are they a real threat?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They haven't done anything. This is not how revolutionary movements start. The Black Panthers...
They're not revolutionary, insurrectionary.
Yeah, that's literally what they're supposed to be. You just said that the way to get out of the liberal bourgeoisie's boot is by doing individual acts of terrorism. I mean, I get that, but if we just 1812 the White House, I think we'll have better results.
Are you still at this fucking question?
We are talking about a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, you have to go in 15 minutes. Let's
Okay, let's rush through those ones. Let's do a sprint. Changes in an individual's way of life can improve change. Induce. What does induce mean?
Like affect.
Start.
Well, I agree. What? Is it an objective fact?
This is about voting with your wallet, because it asks about way of life.
Absolutely. Okay, fucking neutral. Fuck it. Nowadays, employees are free to choose when signing a contract with a future employer. No, go fuck yourself. Offshoring and outsourcing unnecessary evils to improve production.
Ew.
Well, that's the only reason why Belarus has IT. And as a Belarusian agrarian IT ultranationalist, high-tech ultranationalist, I support outsourcing. But no, I think we would make a lot of use of, like, if we would direct all the forces that we do with IT, like in... Okay, I absolutely disagree.
Say that in like 10 years instead of hearing an Indian
do it. Absolutely
disagree.
Self-reliance, because I believe that if we stop making Indian people go to IT and Belarusian people go to IT, because that's where the money is. You should do IT, and I don't care about anything that you have. And what do we use this IT potential to make Americans richer? What?
I'm saying
no, self-reliance. That's my point.
I'm saying if I call up IT, am I going to hear it?
Multiculturalism is a threat to our society. absolutely.
You will hear about everything. Yes, multiculturalism is not a threat. Kill all white people. State-run companies should be managed like private ones and follow the logic of the market. Absolutely disagree.
Nope.
Fuck off. Influence of religion should decrease.
Absolutely
Here,
agree.
yes, please go away. It is acceptable that the rich and
No,
it is
no,
acceptable
it's not
that
acceptable.
there are rich and poor people. No, absolutely disagree. Fuck off. Activists must always act in strict accordance with the law. Fuck off. Traditions should be questioned.
Somewhat.
Fuck yes.
Revenues
Fuck
and-
yes, not somewhat. Revenues and capital should be taxed to redistribute wealth. Yes, this is the traditional program. The categories women and men are social constructs that should be given up. I somewhat agree. I still believe there is value in social constructs because without them, we are just beings of nothing. Everything is a social construct, and so they have a function. So let's just keep them, but we should realize that those things are arbitrary.
Ew, this statement sucks.
The main goal.
The main goal of a couple is to make at least one child. Fuck off! I have 2 cats. I'm contributing. Shut up. It is unfair to set a minimal penalty for an offense or a crime.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it sort of is. Yeah. Biologically, human beings are designed for heterosexuality.
No.
Yes, I agree with this.
Yes, that's true though. Like
It's not though.
biologically, we
No,
are
because
designed for that.
homosexuality
No.
is natural in all sorts of species across the
Yeah, but
world.
we're not designed. There is no like.
There-
There's a fucking button in guys' asses to make them come. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, actually, there is this whole thing in the ass, like the spot in the. There's that.
I think the key word we need to talk. We need to talk about. We need to talk about the word designed here.
Ooh, yes, fuck off. I will absolutely disagree. We're not designed for heterosexuality. You know why? Because heterosexuality is a fucking. It's a thing that is social. It's social. It's not a spook, but it's a socialized thing. Let me continue. Sexuality and breeding are 2 different things. Breeding is what my cats are trying to do now. Please stop. But it doesn't mean that they are heterosexual or homosexual. It means that they are trying to breed, right? What we say when we say hetero or homosexual or gay or straight, we mean something that is socialized, something that has culture, something that has stuff like this.
See, a few years back, I actually had 2 rabbits, and they were both male.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they were in the presence of females, they still chose to fuck other males. So I think they were actually gay.
Yes. They were. We would say gay, but you see the difference between a gay. What does it mean? Like there is a difference for an animal that expresses, like attraction to other males of its own species, and between like 2 people, that express sexuality in some form.
This is why it happens over and over again. This is why like penguins, like they put penguins together and it turns out one of them's a guy, and they tried to mate him for years. This happens all the time.
Let's get on.
Let's get on with it. Fucking okay. Abstinence should be preferred to contraception to prevent true nature of a sexual act. No, true nature of a sexual act is stop that. Oh my! I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
The nature of the sexual act is
the true nature. The true nature of sexual act is fucking a tree.
That needs to be turned into an audio clip. The true nature of the sexual act is stop that.
True nature of a sexual act is to preserve oneself until you get a North Korean GF.
Yes.
Shout out to Jason Unruh. I'm just joking.
Is he going to North Korea yet?
I hope he does. Let's bet I'll get to North Korea faster than Jason.
Yeah, can we get a Patreon for my man Eugene to get him to North Korea?
I want to go to North Korea and meet TK Jones in person for the first time in Pyongyang. That would be the best.
Can I come along as well?
Yes.
Sure.
Just imagine when we, like, the first time me and TK in his fucking mask meet will be in front of the fucking Kim Jong-un statue. That would be the best. Fucking hell. So,
let's continue.
Okay, fuck off with the abstinence thing. School should mostly teach our valid traditions, fundamental knowledge.
Ew, mostly? What the fuck?
So to disagree. No, fuck off. It's natural to avoid private monopoly. Absolutely agree. Space colonization. Colonization is a good solution for supplying the lack of raw materials on Earth, iron, rare metals, fuel. I somewhat agree. It's a good way to do that. Yeah, looking for one's own profit is healthy for the economy. No. People need to stand up for their ideas, even if it leads to them to betray their country. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, jeez, guys, I don't know about that one.
I'm actually.
Oh no, Eugene! Now the Belarusian KGB is gonna go after you.
I actually have like a disagreement with that. Like, what do they mean by country and which country? Like, if let's
shut up, you nationalist.
No, let explain. Like, within my own. Okay.
No, stop that.
No, let me explain. Okay, so
Pingu.
Like, no. You're gonna like it.
Bad Pingu. You should betray Sweden. Social Democratic Party is going to die. Please.
Yes. You let me get on with it.
He's talking about.
Very fast. Okay. Sweden is a liberal democracy.
We're so close.
I would betray Sweden, but if Sweden was socialist, I would not. Very simple.
Okay, sure, maybe, yes. It is necessary to teach history in order to create a sense of belonging to a nation. I would rather. I'm neutral on that. I have no problem with nationality. I just don't think that this is should be the emphasis. You know. It is necessary to remove regulations in labor legislation to encourage firms to hire kids. Go away. Citizens should take priority over foreigners.
No. Disagree.
No, if a building collapses, we get everyone out, not just fucking citizens.
But what if they don't
help a person? Like, what the fuck?
What if they don't?
Marriage should be abolished.
Do they mean like the legal benefits or just the acts? I don't know.
We should abolish marriage and replace it with sub-dom relationships.
No.
State enforced homosexuality all the way. I'm going neutral because I am sort of for, but I'm married at the same time. And that would be rather weird, you know?
Wife cuck over here.
Wife cuck.
What? You literally like want to fuck your wife? Hey, wife cuck. Violence against individuals is never productive. I would rather disagree because remember this punching of Richard Spencer?
Hell yeah.
That was an amazing and helpful violence against an individual. Environmental norms should be influenced by mass consumption and not from an authority.
Shut the fuck up, liberal.
Disagree? Cats, please. Carol, come here. Yes, hello. I'm sorry for speaking in a Russian accent for a minute. Where is the toy? That's the only thing that really helps when they, like, cat advice by Eugene. If your cats are acting in a weird way, they're horny, or they want to do something else, play with them. If you get out the favorite toy, they will just play with you, and it's pretty cool. A good way to calm a cat. Excuse me?
Why don't you just leash him up?
No, please.
Take your belt and put him like on opposite sides of the room.
Fucking hell. No. So let me quickly. It's actually genuine advice. If your cats are acting violent, play with them until they're tired as fuck and want to go to sleep. Like run around the flat with them, run around the house with the toy, like let them jump around, like run around, and they'll just go to sleep peacefully.
Go bananas.
I'm just saying they're gonna nut while you sleep, so why not like separate them in different rooms or whatever?
As I said, I don't
already explained this.
Yes, I've already explained this. Two questions. Changing the system radically is counterproductive. We should rather transform it progressively.
No, shut the fuck up, liberal.
It is merit that explains differences of will between two individuals. Absolutely disagree. Armed struggle in a country is sometimes necessary.
Sometimes is the key word.
Okay. Socialism,
justice,
revolution.
Scroll down.
That's pretty good.
Yep, you got anarchism.
And
I got anarchism. I got veganism.
Yeah, all the way down.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way down. You see the extra.
Okay, socialism, justice, revolution, constructivism, essentialism. Okay, I'm rather constructivist. Real justice, punitive. Yeah, why did I have 17? What? Punitive
that's
justice?
Neutral. That's neutral because you didn't fully answer.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't answer one of the questions. Okay.
Like the gray areas are
conservatism. I'm a woke internationalist. Yes, capitalism, communism.
I only had 7% nationalism and 0% conservatism.
I have 40% nationalism on mine.
But I had 26% reformism, so it's pretty gay.
Look at that balance, ecology and productivism. This is actually what I believe.
No, you did more ecology.
I did more ecology, almost 50%. Yes.
I have like almost 70.
Nice. Well, I know that you do.
Anarchism.
Revolution, reformism, good percentage. Actually, the one that I believe in. Very good. Anarchism, when people are being hit with a stick, they are not happier if the stick is called stick of the people.
Fuck off.
This is fuck off. This is some anti-Soviet shit.
Oh my god.
I really think the best anarchists are Marxists. Like, you know what I mean?
Anarcho-Marxists are really
No, not anarcho-Marxists. The best anarchists are Marxists who realize the necessity of the state as it's a justified hierarchy.
Whoa, pessimist revisionism.
I'm just saying.
Oh, well, guys, that's it. We got the results. Excuse me.
I posted mine in the chat.
You posted yours in the chat?
Yeah.
Which chat?
The Hangout.
Oh, your Hangout?
Wait,
in a Hangout. I can see it. Let me open it up for
it's
everyone.
Good.
What?
Hold on, let me get it.
Good. Look at this.
Oh, I thought that was porn. Okay, for a second. I was really afraid that you sent me porn.
It's
you
very
good. Do that. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. So
send mine as well.
You have a small point in reformism.
Oh, but I have more revolution than you did.
Yeah.
And more ecology.
I gotta go to class soon, so like I didn't even take the test. I'm sorry. I'm a bad
I sent mine as well.
Oh hell yeah,
Eugene.
What?
I sent mine as well.
Let's show it off. Poets, PolitiScale results.
It's really gay.
Oh, you have humanity as your value. Fuck humans, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Fuck you.
Like, humanity? More like my balls.
It should be socialism, bestiality.
More like gay-manity, am I right?
Bestiality. Ooh. Look at that.
All right, people, that's pretty funny. I always get anarchism.
It's because of the one with the state, and yeah. The state should be. That's why I do somewhat agree with the state one. Because I don't want to get anarchism because people get triggered.
Well, I'm okay with that because I always get libertarian socialism, libertarian communism, stuff like this, and I am okay with that. Like, I'm not worried that the political tests think that I am so like anti-authoritarian, because I am. It is just that like
every commie should be.
Yes, like if you do a political test and you're like, oh no, I actually have this crazy authoritarian thing on. Like, why? Are you inherently anti-worker? Like, oh, it's like this. I'm sorry, but I am pro-work and I'm pro-direct democracy, and I'm pro-workers owning their lives and owning everything they have, owning everything, in the world, owning their lives, owning their labor, owning this planet.
I'm retaking the test right now.
Hey, I do think we should agree that we all the workers should own everything, including the libs.
Yes, we should own the libs.
In which style?
Epic style, of course.
I'm gonna troll the Germans Brexit style.
Yeah, fucking Christ.
All right, people. It was fun to have all of you on. Thank you so very much. It was fun hanging out. I'd like to say specifically thank you to Brown Marxist. Oh wait, what's his name now?
Brown Boy Socialist.
Brown Boy Socialist, right. Pessimistic Misanthrope, Bingo Poet, and Random Leftist, thank you for appearing on this show. I'd like to say thank you to the chat. Welcome. There are 18 people viewing this shit right now. Fucking hell, catch the life. Like, you're watching people what are you fucking
brainlit, am I right?
No, actually, thank you very much for supporting. I'm so happy to, like, be out, and just disappear for some time and then come back and see the same people. Still sticking to the content, still enjoying the stuff, and still coming out. Thank you I love it. Thank you. It really makes me happy, and really triggers the libs when I tell that I have a fucking communist podcast with 500. Oh, fucking hell!
This is anarchism now.
It really triggers the libs in Belarus when I tell them, hey, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's like 500, and it's about politics. I have like almost 500 subs. And they're like, oh, great, what's your politics? I'm a communist. And they're like fucking shocked there are so many people that are like coming out to see this Belarusian guy talk about radical left politics. So thank you. Thank you. I'm triggering the libs.
And they're from everywhere. I mean,
gosh darn libtards.
We've got people from Sweden. We've got, like, I'm guessing 2 Amerimuts here, as well as the 3rd Amerimut. But yeah, you've got people all across.
I live in Canada.
Oh
yeah, Canadians. Yes.
Okay. How do you block someone on Google?
Poet's Dutch. Don't forget that.
Yes.
How do you block someone on Google for harassment? Big.
What are you gonna scream sorry at us?
This is what the Canadian bourgeoisie will say, but nobody will listen.
Wow, imagine saying sorry, but not rolling the R's.
Alright, let's finish this shit up.
Sorry, my dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Alright, people. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe to this channel, Epic Style. Donate on Patreon. And what the fuck? Like, maybe, like, come out and, like, press a like button or something. I don't know. See you in the next one. I'm going to have a small pee break and can't stop having sex break. Yes, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.